Hi guys, welcome back to Martinica channel. I've got a fab show lined up for you tonight. Brace yourselves. All is going to be fantastic. It's good to see you. Let me just check my comms are in order and see all the gang are piling in. Squirrel Sniper, you can check out his new video in the descriptions box. It's really an awesome clue to the shape of this realm that he dug up and sent to me, and I went through, and it's something. It's quite mind-blowing. So check it out. It's pinned in the comment to start the show. So how are you all doing? It is Flat Day. Man, imagine if every day was like a Flat Day. Wouldn't life be so fantastic? Well, Flat Earth British realm, that is what's going on. So I can't see my chat for some reason. I've got some stupid ass advert. Let me get it out of the way. There it is. So yeah, feeling fluffy? Feeling lucky? Fucking epic. Okay, let's bring some love into this also miserable place. There's Otto, my brother. And you a mod, Otto? I thought you was a mod, my brat. Love Otto. There you are. Sorry, mate. Don't know what went on there. So yeah, tonight we're going to be dot connecting, and we're going to think about things using Martin logic and decades, really, of research into this subject, which we're going to talk about now. Okay, now you can find in the descriptions or in the in my channel page a film that was in about 2 years ago, no, about 3 years ago now, called The Next Level, a Flat Earth movie, where I state I think that it's all about hidden lands. Now it's being talked about quite a bit in the truther community. Now, what I have learned in my years in the truther community, okay, is that you get magic tricks. So it's watch this hand over here, what this is doing. Yeah, this hand's not doing anything at all. So shh, whatever you do, don't talk about the North Pole. It is a frozen ocean of water, and there is nothing there whatsoever. All of those old maps and all of the tankers showing Mount Meru and all of the ancient cosmologies, like all of them are all full of shit. Well, I think there's more going on. And now my sensey, not my spider senses, my senses are tingling. Why are they tingling? Because of Greenland. Because of Greenland. And its geographical location and everything that's been going on with the North Pole that they are not really talking about in the mainstream or on the internet, which I think is highly significant and linked into the whole story of what is happening with the weather, what is happening with Flat Earth, and what is happening with the weird governments losing their shit big time and not giving a shit anymore. Almost as if the elites have gone somewhere else because they know the entire thing is going to go tits up soon, somewhere along those lines. And I'm going to paint a picture for you, like I said, using Martin logic. Right, let's give you some good vibes and some big loves into the chat. Okay, big fat kutch into the chat. There's Neo, there's Mad Skills. Thanks for commenting so much, Mad Skills. I see one of my top commenters. I do appreciate that. Or any interaction with my channel whatsoever is a wonderful thing. There's Jo. She's very beautiful, very good human being. There she is there. Loving on Hippie Shake. Project Bluebeam. Oh, it's definitely on the cards with these fuckers. Nothing would actually surprise me anymore. Would it you? Whatever they come out with. Look at the last 5 years. So there's Dave. Dave is in the chat, who has just posted recently, I've seen on his channel, a voyage, which is not what this post is going to be about, but we will talk about that. Melage is in the house. Good to see you, lovely. And woof to Rain, if you can hear me. Rain. That's the dog. Friend's dog is awesome. There is a voyage planned. And it is 9 people. And Dave, who is sharing the chat, have you got a spanner at all, Dave? You should have, really. With my broski and all. And it's getting a lot of excitement in the flat Earth community, because something is happening. Somebody's going to go and look at the explore the extremities of this place and see what's out there on the back of the Monte map. Okay, but there are other lands that are a damn sight closer that may not be as dangerous to travel to. Now, I have had a good long think about all of this and have done some math as well. The logistics behind it are incredible. I don't know how any of this is going to be carried out, but I will be watching. With keen eyes and hoping all the best, obviously. But what we're going to look at in this is somewhere that's a lot closer. In fact, it is 14 to 20 days away. And that is Svalbard and then on to the North Pole. And that is what we're going to talk about in this. So that is going to be happening this year, I guess. I haven't seen too much else about the information concerning the boats and all that. So I myself, probably out of all of the flat earthers, got more time than all of them put together. There's that. And the fact that my son is also a captain and owns a sailboat. But personally, I won't be doing that because I got something else planned, and that is not my mission in life because I got something else going on. There's that. But I am very intrigued to see if they find anywhere, and I think there is more land. I definitely think there's more land. I think that's what it is all about. But I definitely think we should not discount the weirdness that is going on around the North Pole. And I'm going to show you right now how weird. Now, above all, right, I'm a truther. Okay, so I will talk about the truth. Okay, where I feel in my heart is the truth. Okay, and I feel that even when I present what I'm going to present now, when you get to the end, you're going to have to admit that that is weird, what I'm going to present. Okay, very, very strange indeed. They are covering up so much, you would not believe it. My suspicions are concerning Greenland at the moment because of what is there, what we know to be there, its geographical location, and it's part of the old Cold War dew line, as we know, where there's the nuclear dew line close to Russia, which is over the Arctic Ocean. And remember, it's supposed to be the smallest ocean on Earth. And on the old maps, it's called the Tartarian Sea. But there are countless old maps that show us, and in a lot of details. And my favorite book, which is over by there, The Smoky God, great detail into what is going on in the North Pole. Why would cartographers, and even with the Urbano Monte map, which is meant to be a mythical map, but the Mercator maps that show Hyperboreans are not so. This is supposed to be cartography. But the Urbano Monte map does show Hyperborean, 4 continents in the middle of our flat plane. Okay, and in the center of that flat plane, okay, the Hindus and all of the other cultures know about Axis Mundi, the center point. Okay, if you can remember back in the day, years ago, I had an interview, maybe 8 years ago now, with Quasi-Luminous. Quasi-Luminous, do you remember him? Well, he had a fixation with the North Pole hole and all compasses pointing to the north. And I had a bit of a, I'm guessing you could say, not obsession, but a real big interest in affairs north. Now, I've been following and reading. I've got quite a few books, actually, Arctic exploration, quite a few books on the subject. And I had an interest because of Scott at the Antarctic. Now, Scott left Cardiff, Tiger Bay, to go off to, I'll be back later, went for a walk and then died like a silly sausage in Antarctica. But the other expedition to the North Pole, he gets pipped at the post again by a Norwegian Amundsen who's managed to find the center of said continent, where is it the geographical North Pole or is it magnetic North Pole? We'll talk about that in this post because it's moved a lot of miles in the last year. You may or may not know, according to them, the magnetics is shifting drastically. And has this happened in the past? Well, not as dramatically, no. So is this anything to do? You could think in the realm of, have you seen the film Greenland with Gerard Butler. There's Greenland 2 and all now, isn't it? I haven't seen that yet. Well, it's an apocalyptic film where the world is reset, goes tits up, meteors and stuff. And then they go to bunkers in the extremities of Greenland to survive. Now, he, and I mean by this Trump, wants Greenland quite badly. He offered Denmark a load of money a year or so ago, and the Americans offered to the Danes to buy Greenland off them even as early as the 1940s for this land. Now, why do they call it Greenland when it's so white and snowy? Well, maybe every so often when, I'm not going to use the word climate change, but I'm going to use the word when the ice age is over and things start to go back to how they were before, which is warm, then there would be large parts of this large island, which is nowhere near as large as they make out on the Mercator maps, by the way. I'll show you in this. It's grossly over projected, and then you got to wonder to yourself, where is all that displaced water on the maps too with the mathematics? But anyway, so it's a good possibility that this place is getting greener and greener and greener, like it was in the 1600s when they discovered it on a boat and said, this is nice and green, I think we'll have this. It is a big place, and the seaboard side has got like Nuke as its capital. Funny name, Nuke, for a capital, isn't it? Nuke. But anyway, so the sovereignty of said country is in question at the moment. The Danes ain't too happy about handing it over, but you know, under political pressure, and with the Americans definitely flexing their muscles in all regards. I mean, the government, but whoever pulls their strings, which we'll talk about right now. So I think there's a strong possibility that he wants Greenland so that it's the last bastion for bunkers for humanity, namely the Americans, because everyone else can just go fuck off. Now, remember, they got Camp Sentry and the mystery around Camp Sentry, which we're going to look in. If you don't know about this, it's a giant underground city, which isn't even conspiracy. It's in the mainstream. You can find out about it. It's a giant city. The population of the continent, if you want to call it that, of Greenland, is 56,000. This city of Camp Sentry was going to house more than that. Apparently, Black Ops, not really the American government, don't really know, built it, but this big, massive, in an accessible area, apparently, city underground, shits out of nowhere. Now, what if they got loads of them installations? First nuclear-powered installation in the world was in Camp Sentry in apparently Greenland, not in the first one in Antarctica, which they say, because I got a video. I've literally got a video, and I'd love to post it, but I know my channel would be in trouble. But it states that they had a nuclear generator there in 1958 in Antarctica. This is, but when you read the paperwork on the the science behind Antarctica Treaty, they state that you must never have any radioactive products or radioactive waste in the continent of Antarctica. Yeah, I got video that clearly states that they had a nuclear generator there in 1958. It's just total bullshit and contrasting. Anyway, so yeah, my best of luck to them. Captain Gunn, who has just popped out of his nose over the parapet from nowhere. I don't know who he is at all in all these years. Haven't got a clue. And he's going to sail with Dave off to Antarctica. So we're going to be really excited to watch. Hope they got Wi-Fi out there so you can tell us if you find any lands. That'd be really good. But they don't need Wi-Fi. And it's bullshit satellites. I tell you all I know. Years ago, my father was a ship's captain, see. And he used to ring my mother ship to shore from St. John's every time he passed St. John's. And that was just like wireless across the Atlantic, no satellite involved. So there's that. So that's what we're going to look into. I'm going to get stuck into the juice. Let me give a few view shots. So yeah, probing the exteriors. This is going to be interesting. Oh my God. I wonder what will happen. I wonder if they do a Vanderhoy and wait with battleships and stuff. Now they know, because it's not like a secret, is it? Now we all know. People. Do they want China to own Greenland? If no, Russia? No. Okay, then. Glad. Well, he says it's his today's speech, or a speech I've seen today, Trump, that it is for the future of humanity. That is his literal sentence. He said, we need Greenland. It's not just for America, it's for the future of humanity. I'm like, whatever does he fucking mean? There's a lot of mystery. Now, let me just show you exactly what I mean with all of this, guys. I'm going to bring up the chat feed. So welcome all. I'm going to get straight into the juice because there's a lot of it. I'll share the comments here. And on we go. So yeah, this new video, at first I thought, oh my God, it had echoes of 2020 E-War, the history of flat Earth that everybody posted and shared. Only next video, he turned coated it, didn't he? So there was that, which I strongly suspected at the time. So I hope nothing like that is happening. I don't think so, though, because, you know, everyone's jumping on board with it. So we're going to have a look. We're going to, fingers crossed, and hope that somebody can do such a feat in sailboats. That would be wicked. On the back of the Monte map. I remember the day that turned up, man. I shit my pants. So I shared it, and I'm like, fuck me. It come off Rob Skiba found it, and he just found it on the Rumsey Library. I'm like, I just spent like maybe 10 hours going through the Rumsey Library this week, and I didn't find shit. I would have shit the bed if I had found that. Because it's like apparently world famous, apparently a 10-foot map. Like, just craziness. So I didn't come across it until that day. So that's what we're going to look into, Svalbard and other anomalies. Justin Trudeau, we're going to look into him and his weirdness surrounding the North Pole. Because I remember years ago, there was a TV series called Pole to Pole with Michael Palin from Monty Python. And he went to some giant installation thing. It's weird as fuck in the North Pole, like a large building with hundreds of scientists in there. It's like, well, what are the scientists actually doing at there? You know, taking ice cores. What? And they, even though he was BBC, yeah, and probably shook hands with the Queen and stuff, yeah, he wasn't welcome. They literally blanked him. He was sat on the table stirring his coffee on his own while everyone gave him the cold shoulder. And it literally showed you. I remember at the time, I wasn't a flat earther at the time when that happened. But I remember thinking at the time when it happened, wow, that's a load of shadiness going on in the North Pole. And that was in like maybe 1995, something like that, when Pole to Pole was on TV. Really strange. Lots of weirdness around it. So that's what we're going to look at. Missing lands, hidden lands. We looked at only a month ago, hidden lands in the extremities beyond said whatever is out there. Laterally, we do not know, but it's fun guessing. And once, you know, the bottom line of this, guys, and I will be honest, the bottom line is this, right? It's not a spinning ball. It's not a globe. So then the beauty of this is then we get to imagine and think, what is this place? Some people go with simulation. I don't. I go with the real world. I go with this is a divine creation. I am a creationist. And I think this place was put here by an all-knowing creator, a loving creator. It's probably female. So there's that. That to be loving. And Poundland. I think Poundland, nothing in Poundland, Chrissy, is actually Poundland. Now, have you noticed the police is pole ice? And if you go to an office, it's off ice. There's a lot of things concerning ice, especially with the police, pole ice. Like, what? So, yeah, I wonder when this is going to kick off. Myself, because of the TFE, I'm a bit done with Antarctica. I'm thinking about northern stuff. But I have been all along anyway. So there's that. I'm your north man. Plus, there is 10 years of Tartarian research on this channel. Thousands of hours of real research, thousands of books presented, on channels that are non-existent anymore on my network, that cannot be ignored. I'm very sorry. There is that. So onward. Let's look at this weirdness. Tell me this isn't strange, guys. Let me know what you think, and please share this out. It is an exciting time. I love it when shit goes down. So that's what's going to be happening this year. That's the thing is, ooh, excuse me. We're probing. We're probing. We're probing hidden lands. Let's start with Greenland, guys, shall we? Can you see that? This is a really lovely old map. I'm going to talk about Greenland for a minute. Well, I don't actually think there's a South Pole as such. I don't care what the TFE come up with. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think the magnetics from the North Pole could reach, what, like 12,000 miles around whatever it's supposed to be there and hit the fucking South Pole. It just makes zero sense to me whatsoever. I really do think that the South Pole is under the North Pole, which is in the North Pole, okay, the North and South Pole, okay. I think it is, as I presented on a 5.5-hour special synopsis on my series, The Greatest Secret Never Told, is that I think there's a Mount Meru there. I think that it's giving out an acoustic frequency. I think that acoustic frequency holds the water dome in place, because I definitely think there's an ocean above us and more beyond there as well, is what I think. That's just me personally, imparting logic from what I go on. And I definitely think, because like I said in my description, there is a plethora of evidence out there that there's more going on in the north. And like I said, I watch sailing videos, like this Sailing Sam, a young chap that sails around the world. He's a very interesting chap. And he went over an invisible fishing line just north of Svalbard, got arrested and fined 20,000 euros or krona, whatever. It was a lot of money, but it's 20,000 anyway. And his crime was crossing an invisible border. They'd said that he went into a fishery. He never. He just went north of Svalbard. Now, north of Svalbard, guys, yeah, if it is a thawed out ocean, like they're saying it's thawing out, they're saying it's just water. A lot of the time nowadays, hardly any ice cap. That's what they're saying with their climate change bullshit. 15 to 20 days. If you're going at 10 knots, okay, from Svalbard, 2 weeks, and you would be at what is called the geographical North Pole. Now, in the modern day, okay, the North Pole is literally that, a pole. And it's a white and red tartarian pole as well, I've noticed. So have you noticed the Greenland in the old map here? Okay, this lovely old Greenland or Greenland map. First, let's pull out the anomalies of what we think is going on. They say Greenland is at a really high elevation, like they do with Eastern Antarctica. They say it's a mile high. So that's namely one of the reasons why you just can't scoot over it with a plane, because it's just so high. Well, you can fly over Nevada and you can fly over Denver, which is a mile high. It's really weird, that. And land there as well. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Anyway, so up here in the north, you've got Count Thule, which is an American base, which is still there in the modern day, like Thule Island, another mythical island, apparently. And you have around this area here, Camp Century, and it's an underground city, like you wouldn't even believe the dimensions of this city. There's plenty of evidence and plans and stuff out there and videos where you can look into Camp Century. The first thing that strikes me is Greenland is almost 2 islands. This river here, if it was thawed when this map was made, this obviously wasn't ice, was it? But it's only this narrow bit here of land, which is just miles across, which separate, which keeps this from being 2 islands. Were you aware of that? Just like the archipelago of islands, that is supposed to be the Antarctica continent. Antarctica, when you pull the ice back, is not one landmass. It's literally 1,000 islands and an archipelago with 2 main islands. It looks like an over-exaggerated version of the Falkland Islands without snow, is what Antarctica looks like. And the western bit is apparently below sea level. So there's that. So Iceland is not that geographically close to Greenland. It isn't. I mean, when you fly to America, you fly just south of Iceland, just south of Greenland, okay? And then you come into America over Newfoundland, okay? So the planes, they go north over Britain, yeah, over Scotland, and then they, shoot across the shortest water bit. And I'm guessing, there would be no safety if your airplane was dodgy in the middle of the Atlantic, that you could land here somewhere. But there is, if you look on the maps in the modern day, it has an international airport. You could literally land a plane in Denmark. So there's that. Another thing I noticed is the amount of place names. Just dozens. There's only 50,000 in the modern day, or 56,000 in the modern day. But in the past, there is a shit ton of place names. So maybe the mystery around Greenland is it's not as cold as they lead us to believe. There's apparently great mineral resources there, all the oil the world needs, all gold, all the minerals for the computers that they're so desperate for, that they keep having to give the Chinese money for. Now, there's been explorations up here in the past, in the late 1800s, for Crocker Island, which was led to be believed, and Peary believed the same as well, that there was this land, this continent, north of Ellesmere Island. Okay. Now they're saying as well, which is highly interesting, more interesting, I think, is this. The Northwest Passage is opening. Do you know what that means? That means that shipping will not have to rely on the Suez or the Panama Canal anymore. You get from literally the Pacific straight through to the Atlantic through the Northwest Passage, which is definitely following. The search for the Northwest Passage was a big deal. Shackleton did the trip as well to search for it back in the 1800s. But now you can navigate through the whole of it from one ocean to the other, and you do not need to pay all of this money, which Trump's really pissed about and wanted to take back, is the Panama Canal. It's like, oh, fuck no. He's like, we all died to build that. Okay, you didn't. Can we have it back? No, not can we have it back, because they went and gave it away to the Chinese. It's like, yeah, Panama gave it away to the Chinese, so all the Chinese can do tax dodging through Panama City, as they're all doing. Highly dodgy business. Greenland theory. Can you remember that a few years ago? That was a highly interesting little topic, wasn't it? And that was concerning changes in the weather. That was concerning pole flip. They say in the geological record there's evidence of geomagnetic anomalies in stones that they can see, they say in science, where the north and the south poles flip. Their magnetics, polarity. Can that happen? What can happen with magnets? So yeah, they got some, here they are, look, the little Denmarkians. And they're guessing they look Inuit, and they got loads of huskies. But yeah, it's a bit green. The snow's pissed off. They got nice little Danish star houses. Apparently they got no shops or anything there. So I don't know what they're eating. Buffalo. Not. Seals. I bloody better not be seals. I tell you that for nothing. Or whales. Okay, because that's fucking disgusting. So all maps, as we know, are projections. We haven't got any maps, no such thing as a map, and at all in any regard. They're just not. They're all projections. And we go with the Mercator projection. In fact, all of the maps do. Even the copy maps of Old World are all on this Mercator style, right? Old maps started out north, okay, looking south, upside down. All maps until a certain period were upside down maps, showing, right, the north was the juice and everything else was inverted since. Okay, most of the world's population is in the center bit, what they call the northern hemisphere flat, compared to the southern hemisphere flat, which isn't populated at all. Anyway, Greenland actual position, and it is not, and Svalbard is not that big. It is not bigger than Nova Zelanda. Okay, it is a ton smaller. So this is all over projected. And Greenland, for whatever reason that they have the powers that should not be, have over projected this. It's actual, when you move it down to the equator size, it's 1/14 the size of Africa. And if you can see here, it's not dramatically bigger than Ireland and Britain put together. So it's not a fantastically big island, as you have been led to believe by the fake ass maps. Now, if you don't know about Camp Century, there's a huge city. You can drive underneath it, and it is like, okay, now it's like Resident Evil. It's like the Hive in Resident Evil. It literally is. It goes like so many levels down. And a lot of suspiciousness around what was, going on, the activity there, and what exactly, they were doing there. Camp Century is still there. So I'm guessing that they got other places as well, other bunkers. This one is one we know of, and it's massive. Massive. Okay. They managed to build all of this, all of these out in the middle of nowhere. Out in the middle of nowhere. If you've seen geographically where it is, it's ridiculous. On a glacier. It's a bit like the TFE glacier, Union Glacier, middle of fucking nowhere. And apparently they get all of this kit out there, and then they build an underground city in this area of Greenland. Why? Well, Svalbard has the seed bank in case there's Armageddon or an extinction level event. Greenland has Camp Century. This is a bunker for people, the elites, to survive a possible extinction level event. That's what I think. And I think this is the big deal behind why they're desperate to get Greenland. It's not minerals. It's not resources. They got free energy. They don't need any of it. It's bullshit, that bit. So I'm not buying that. Greenland itself, Marin, what map you look at, they're saying it is abundant in resources, and the snow goes back this much. Even the north bit you can see here is dry, but it never fully thaws. That they say never fully thaws, full of mineral resources. They say, okay, well, it could be for that, but I don't think it is. Now, have you heard what Justin Trudeau had to say concerning the North Pole? There is more to this. I shared this. I've got this off of Shake the Globe channel. Big shout to Shake the Globe channel. He gave me permission to use it. I did ask to be polite. Now, there is an extension to this video with Justin Trudeau, where he states that they went into some scientific lab place, and he snuck up and looked through the window and seen these strange men in white coats, and he doesn't know what they were doing there. He doesn't mention that in this, but he does mention this.
I was going with my father and my grandpa Sinclair up to the North Pole. It's a very glamorous destination. I figured I was finally going to be let into the reason for the existence of this high security Arctic base. It was exactly right. We drove slowly through and past the buildings on a special top secret mission. And that's when I understood just how powerful and wonderful my father was.
So, who's his father then, guys? It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? The devil. And why is Jimmy Carter and a Rothschild magged up on in the audience? There's a lot of people think he's Castro's son. It is a very, I can see there is a similarity in the looks, but there's more going on with that Trudeau. He seems to be ultimately amused at everything that goes on around him, a bit like some sort of superior intellect, a bit like the buzz you get with Baron Trump, who's also amused with everybody around him because they are so stupid compared to him as you can see, with this guy. It's a really weird guy. North Pole. So how is it, right, that Scott, like Amazon's already got there again, and then you get there and it's the centre of this big massive ice cap, and then you find a flag with a Norwegian flag on it and a tump of snow. How is that even humanly possible? Did they have GPS? No, they didn't, did they? So did they have chats? Well, no, not if it's been undiscovered and haven't been there before. It would be impossible for them to have chats. How would it be humanly possible to pinpoint the exact spot in the middle of thousands and thousands of square miles of ice and then pinpoint that ice, that flag? To me, I think it's all a story. I really do. I really do. I hope they're not eating them. They are lovely. Are they the cutest thing in the world, seal cubs? I think they are, you know. Look how fluffy they are. And they're up in a place where no one's going to see them, yet God made them that cutchy and that cute. Why are critters so cute? Have you thought about this? I don't know. It's weird. So, ice, glorious ice, I think is melting. So this is a picture of the USS Nautilus at the North Pole. I have actually got video of this, okay, which I don't want to present because I might get copyrighted, but it's US military video, and it shows this nuclear-powered submarine bursting up through the North Pole ice, because according to them, the North Pole ice above the ocean is only this thick. Only this thick. And it could burst through there at the North Pole because it sailed under the North Pole. See, I'm not buying any of that. I think it's all so convenient. And then who do they send? Members of the BBC. Send Prince Harry with his army regiment. I'm sure he's not going to lie. He was a literal gunner on an Apache aeroplane that splattered people for a living. I don't think he's got a problem telling a few porcupines. Do you know what I'm saying? So my favorite book is The Smoky God. It talks about lands beyond the north winds, lands that are as warm as a spring day in Amsterdam beyond the North Pole. Okay, and there's other narratives out there too, but this one, he goes into an inner world where he witnesses, just like I'm guessing the narrative of Admiral Byrd going into a North Pole hole, where he witnessed UFOs. And this North Pole hole was gone into by Olaf Johnson, and as well, where he went into this kingdom of giants, etc. But the Nazis went to New Schwabenland, and there's Operation Fishbowl. And if you read What is Pinned, Squirrel Snipers thing, there's something really interesting concerning all of that business. Shed a whole new light on this business. So, yeah. So this was TFE. Look, when they were all in their t-shirts, they took their shirts off because it's so fucking freezing in Antarctica. It was expected to be 27 below. And it says also there was 19 hours of sunshine that it went dark, according to that. But not when you're there. Apparently it doesn't. So Shackleton as well. He got stuck in the ice. His boat got crunched and all ended with them. See them dogs? They ended up hot dogs. I'll say no more. So I'm guessing one or two you might mention the American Encyclopedia column of 1953. I have it there on my computer, actually. I should have presented it, where it states that there's a dome of, I think, 15,000 feet, if I'm not mistaken, near Mount Erebus in Antarctica, like saying there's a dome. So what all that is about, I do not know. So yeah, all of this caper of exploration stops during the First World War, and then they're back on after the Second World War, as you know, the biggest military campaign, if you like, outside of D-Day, was high jump fishbowl. It's like all of the fucking navy in the world turns up to go to this Antarctica for all our weirdness. Now, there's a treaty in place in the north as well. Britain isn't included. We have no territories in the Arctic Ocean in the north. Britain hasn't. The Norwegians, the Russians, the Finnish, the Swedes, the Americans all got their skin in the game when it comes to the Arctic Circle. So, yeah, I seen an interview with an old lady, I can't find it anymore, where she states that Shackleton was in a lock, frozen lock in Scotland, making a movie, and he wasn't actually. There's a lot of people on that boat in Antarctica at all. Surprise, surprise. So you can get around on skis and in the wind like that, like sailing around, land sailing. So that's nice to know as well, isn't it? So we're going to look a little movie I made earlier in a bit of Alaska, the earliest movie or the earliest pictures available of the Klondike gold rush. So these people, they got strange hairdos. I think they got a bit of tartan going on, maybe something. Yeah, I like the hair thing going on, and they live in mud huts, really. Yes. But yeah, so they're the people that live in this part of the world. They do look Inuit. They look dark because you get snow tans, don't you? So there's Scott. He didn't lose his nose. He done a stupid thing. He's like, oh, Bates, Master Bates said, Master Bates, I'm going out for I may be some time. He's like, oh, there's no need for that, old boy. It's bloody pissing down with snow outside. Stay in here and have some cocoa with us. He's like, no, I don't think I will. I think I'll go for a walk on my own. So he does the heroic thing. He goes for a walk, dies, apparently. Not that like they find his body or anything. And then he finds out when the storm clears, that 8 o'clock in the morning, they step out. Oh, I wonder what happened to Captain Scott. Oh, whoa, what the fuck is that? Like literally a quarter of a mile away, a fucking food dump. Now, if you'd have had any connection to the creator, I'm sure the creator would have tipped him off and said, don't go and fucking kill yourself being the silly hero. Stop and have cocoa, or we'll be well in the morning. There's a food dump a short way away. You see my logic? He didn't. That's why I think it's all dodgy and shit. Send Ralph Fiennes, I'm sure he'll tell the fucking truth. Where Eskimos fuck. They got broadband and everything in igloos. They have. They got Wi-Fi in igloos. So yeah, ballooning across the Atlantic, across the Antarctica and the Arctic. Now the Norwegians did a balloon trip all across the North Pole. Apparently it was all ice, and here they are. Okay, doing. I'm supposing these are some sort of steam generator. That's my suspicion. But they're producing hot air and Resolute there. They've got different names. They're sending hot air balloons up to check out the extremities of this place. And they were doing that because I think they were looking for more land. I think they discovered it as well, if I'm honest with you. I think they discovered new land. Anyway, let's move on. So another thing they could do as well, I've been thinking about a lot, actually, is forcing the circumstances for more land. And what I mean by that is if you've got a country that is full of ice and it's green underneath, all you'd need to do is thaw the ice with heat. Flamethrower and fucking stuff. It doesn't even matter. They were doing it. There's a book that I shared in the descriptions, an old book from the 1500s, but it talks about Greenland, even before the Danes had got there. I shit you not, check it out. And it states that when they got there, they were, well, it was snow, but they melted it. They melted the snow to live there. Look at this stamp. British Antarctica Treaty, Halley's Comet. Do you know how you know it's Halley's Comet? Because it says on the side, Halley's Comet. Can't be any other comet because they say it's Halley's Comet. So yeah, a lot of strangeness around all of that. What about the magnetics? That's on the move. I'm sure you know that it's on the move. Magnetic North Pole moved 50 miles last year. Let's see the map. So it's on the move. It's not where it used to be. All compasses are pointing somewhere else that they never used to. So, you know, the new magnetic declination is somewhere over northern Canada here. I think this is Ellesmere Island. So, you know, all of these waterways are thawing out as well. They'd be literally used as shipping lanes very shortly, which will change the whole game. But, you know, so they put the Egyptians charging the earth like tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands for ships to go through the Suez Canal. And there was 15,000 ships a year going through the Suez instead of going right the way around Africa. And they're just getting skank rotten. There's got to be a way out of them forcing money out of you. Same as pilots in shipping. You've got to pay them like tens of thousands just to get you into Antwerp. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, it's not in the north anymore, Paul. It's Shhhh over northern Canada. And again, with the Mercator over projected Greenland. Greenland just isn't that big. It just isn't. So it's there. So it's on the shift, and I think that they could, even if there is a giant thawing of the icy parts, and that is including southern extremities, because that could be what all the deal is about as well. Like this geezer that's going, he could just sail straight the fuck through. He could, and I hope that he does. And I hope that the thing is this is an exodus for humanity. The hope for it, isn't it? Yeah, that we find new lands and start again somewhere else out of this shit show. Yeah, that's good. You do that. My plans are different. I plan to stand my ground. I do. I planned to stay for the final battle. I plan to fight for Wales. I plan to stay, is what I plan to do. Okay? I'm not running. No fucking way, is what I'm not doing. But I can understand other people's need to evacuate clusterfuck Earth because civilization is falling rapidly. As you know, all they need now is a nice big EMP strike, internet goes down, ATMs go off, no one can buy a bit of food for fucking 3 days, all hell breaks loose. Because that's where the shit will happen, is if the food stops. People get jolly upset of food. I can guarantee you that. So here is a lovely old projection that I love these old maps, as you know, I'm Mappy Martin. But it's really strange, okay, that they got these lands that are not there on all these maps, and all of them are surrounded by mountain ranges as well. Really, really weird. And they got for, excuse me if I can just clear that up, for Nova Scotia as well, Baccalonia, like Bacchus. In fact, there's a lot of Phoenician names in the north. So yeah, what islands archipelago is this off of Florida, guys? Anybody know? It's not there now, obviously. Bermuda is there over here, but all of this isn't there. The Imperiodata, Sigatio. So all of these, maybe it's from the Caribbean. They just brought them up and put them in the picture. So the Gulf of Depeche Mode is the Gulf of Mexico back then. It's funny, isn't it? And like I said, a lot of Phoenician names as well with this. So if you can see the top corner, Grockland. You see that island, Grockland? That is right next to the Hyperborea. Can you see that? Is that Greenland? Well, it's pointing the wrong way, and it's a lot smaller, maybe the size that it should be, because as you know, maps are overly projected for some reason. I practically steak and yogurts and blueberries are very nice. So yeah, the orbises, love these again. Yeah, unbelievable. You see this on so many maps, as I've presented so many times, of this Australia incognita, if you like, all of this land that apparently comes up higher than the Tropic of Capricorn. So it would be warm and juicy. Can we presume this is Australia? Well, not really. It's chucking out into the Indian Ocean a bit, isn't it? So what exactly is it? It's hard to say. But there are some place names you get with Terra del Fuego, the land of fire, on this side, some place names. And up north, Well, I got descriptions to what's going on up north. I've done some just translations of the Latin, and it's pretty descriptive. There's like so much evidence, right, guys, of land being elsewhere. Yeah, I'm just putting out there that this is a damn sight closer than how many miles away is Antarctica? And what if there is ice there, which is highly likely to be able to get through? What about when you get to the new lands? What would you do then? Hunt? The logistics on the water alone are fantastical. How many liters you need to carry? So I need, I'm really intrigued about all of that bit of it. But full support, like spiritually. So what's going on here? There's no High Brazil, which is off of Western Island. Got the Faroes, don't know what that is, and Thula, which is no longer there, is it? Okay, and then Greenland, which is almost connected to this place inhabited by pygmies, apparently. So why is it mapped? Who gave, so like if it was like mythical, okay, if it was just made up, why make the effort to literally make place names up and stuff? It just makes no sense. It's like, how do we even know that that's not there in part after? I think that this as well, I'm just chucking it out there because I really do think this is the case, especially with what's happening politically at the moment and the world collapsing, is that there is going to be a dramatic change in the maps. And China, northern China is missing people. Millions and millions and millions have gone elsewhere, like they know that it's not going to be a good zone to be in. All of the people are being moved to the middle bit, like literally, it's like all the world's fucking population is being moved to the middle bit for some reason. Have you noticed that? Migrants, all crushed into the middle bit of the flat Earth plane. Have you noticed that? And then Trump wants Greenland, and Trump, wants accessibility to shipping, and there's your Bannerman map. So yeah, remember the day this turned up, I shit the bed. AI just says bollocks about it. It says that that is based on like mythical, but they always say that. But as you can see, it's got the Hyperborean in the middle. The lands are indeed in the middle, and all of the mythical creatures that we talk about. And I have mentioned this in the past, on old maps, there is no ice of any sort, including this map, the Cosmographia, which is earlier than this map of 1598, I think. So Bannerman map, 4 angels there, and there. As you see on each corner, you can see a lot more of them. Personally, I wouldn't do it myself because I'm more in the realm of closer. If I was in, younger, and that I wanted to do that, and I never had another mission, which I'm doing actually. So yeah, you can see there's 4 continents and Mount Meru, which is a magnetic mountain. There's narratives of nails flying out of boats where the magnetic mountain just sucked them up. Now the compasses are pointing somewhere, aren't they? And I think there is something there in the middle bit, if you like. This is a few years ago now, actually. This is from, well, when I picked this up, it was like 8 years ago now, actually, guys. But it's a magnetic declination over the North Pole, or what is the North Pole hole. And what you see is one big magnetic anomaly, another big loop in a magnetic anomaly, another one, another. 4 major and magnetic anomalies, almost as if there are 4 land masses there, and they're not shown on the map, but they are shown on the magnetics. For the magnetic declination is showing 4 bodies. I'm just saying. This is a nice old map as well of Alaska, which we're going to look at in a little minute. The Klondike and hardships going on there, but you've got to wonder why Alaska's got these buildings. There's a lot of tents, actually, or wildlife, Doesn't see any snow going on. This is the Arctic Circle. And then all of these lands up the top. Okay. Let's move on. So, yeah, what do you reckon on Justin Trudeau, though? There's a lot of... Did you know? Google it, guys. They say Justin Trudeau went there every single month with his family to the North Pole, where there's just a pole. Why would he do that? Highly suspicious, if you ask me. And then he shits out and he's a world leader. Canada, Prime Minister of Canada. This is an old Dutch military azimuthal equidistant map. It does show ice around the extremities, as you can see, but it also, which I find invaluable actually, especially when it's the military, they are showing, well, it's an N, but almost looks like land, but they are showing the ice all the way around. I don't think there's ice all the way around. I think there is ice, but I think there's definitely ways through, and I definitely think it's thawing out, and that there's probably another sun that is swinging around as well. I've been talking about for years, which is warming maybe other ponds. So yeah, the famous Mercator, beautiful little projection. You can see that over this side we have Tartaria, and this is the Tartarian Ocean, but you can see the Mount Meru. And I've got a few translations for what these Latin things say. It's quite detailed information concerning this place is not supposed to exist. And then you can see Thula, that's gone. Oh, there's Thula up in the corner there. That's missing too. There and there, three big land masses there that are missing. I guess in Svalbard, or Spitsbergen, as it was once called. So this bit here is America, as you can see, and this chunk of rock here with an island below it is supposed to be Greenland. And as you can see, it's geographically really, really close to the middle bit. So is that why he wants it? It's because it's thawing out and there's literally a shit ton of real estate. Not only is this happening outwardly, which we're going to hopefully find out, guys, yeah, in this lifetime. That would be fucking fantastic. To find out anything about this realm would be fantastic. Let's hope this is going to come off. The middle bit is sticking in my side like a thorn, and I can't shake it. So what is that? All this detail concerning something that doesn't exist. That's a lovely little map, isn't it? Again, 4 angels. The wind that you can see 4 angels blowing in is actually, I think, magnetics. There's another beautiful version of the magnetic mountain, which I think gives off an acoustic frequency, which I will show you why I think that shortly. So yeah, you can mag up California Regio for the north of Canada. Very unusual. And this bit over here, Asia, excuse me. So let's have a look what these things are. Polaris is green, and Terra, land, is just, and Polaris magnets. It's saying there's a magnetic mountain there. Okay, and this, as you can see, is that Tartarian peninsula, if you like, in northern Asia. It says Tartaria underneath it there. Just unbelievable, really fascinating to me. So yeah, it goes into details about the peoples that live there. They're quite populated. There it is, the magnetic mountain. That is Mount Meru. It's in the middle of the water. If you look at the thumbnail that I interpreted to make this, it's in the middle of water. So you could sail right up to the mountain itself. Over here we got Gog. Interesting that they got Gog and Magog. That are not in a biblical place, but in Tartaria on these. And the deltas as well, which I find fascinating. They have the deltas because the rivers are called the Euphrates and the Tigris. And I think that the ones they got in Persia are named after these, where the origins of humanity or the builder race came from. I think. That's what I think. So you have this beautiful old clock. Now I do think, and I am stuck with this idea, the Earth is a timepiece. Proud clock is a bit of a temptational clue, I think, to other lands. And as you can see here, the clock, which is definitely keeping its time. And then the sun comes springing back in, just like a spring, and then springs back out again, which is why it's called spring. And then springs back out again, see here, and then springs back in again, giving us our juicy summer. We should be leading hurry up about it, that's all. So yeah, look at this old map here. So only part, I got some, if you read that book that I've linked in the descriptions box, it literally states that there's quite a bit of tartaria in Europe. It says that in this book in the 1500s. But tartaria, you know, ends at Muscovy border of Moscow, and it's all of this. And part of the south as well. But as you can see, Nova Zelima is part of this continent, and that's where the Tsar bomber was tested, the apparent hydrogen bomb tested by the Russians. So Mount Meru. So I definitely think it's a timepiece. You can see here that there's some clocks that are 24-hour clocks in the world, some clocks like the one in Jerusalem that I posted about actually can tell a time in reverse. But the sky is a clock, and the mechanism for the flat Earth is a timepiece. Even in this, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 angels. Okay, and Martin Litzker lives right by there. It's a Swiss watch. It's a fine-tuned Swiss watch. The farmers all know this. So this is a 16th century depiction of Meru. Okay, and in 2018, when I first showed this image, it was a shape of a car stereo frequency tweeter. How on earth can that be a coincidence? I think the Mount Meru is an inverted pyramid, and underneath an inverted pyramid the other way, north and south polarities, north and south magnets, like everything is in this place. Okay, it's magnetic fields. If you get right down to what they say the atom is, that's north and south poles as well, with torus fields around them. And if you get down to like the fundamentals of everything, they say there's binary ones and zeros, if you're in the frame of mind to think this is a simulation. So here's another tanker. You can see Mount Meru. I think it is some sort of acoustic, you know, coming off of the magnetics as well. It is, the tankers are the map of this Earth. You can see that there's a ring all the way around it, and indeed other stuff happening elsewhere. You'll always get the 4 angels with these tankers, but Mount Meru, an inverted pyramid, and also Paradise Lost, the journey to the inner Earth. Dante's Inferno shows you an inverted pyramid upside down. This is a beautiful little tanker. 4 angels gives you buildings with some antiquitech on them, a trident in fact. Okay, you get this on the map of Monday. I definitely think they are saying there are ways off this plane, and I definitely think they are. And I think, you know, it's a beautiful thing if somebody actually goes and pulls this off. That's what I think. So 643 of you watching, welcome to Flat Earth British. Glad you could be here today. And what is an awesome flat day? We got a lot to share in this post. We've got another hundreds of images of juiciness, next level for your enjoyment. So as you can see, there's a middle bit, 2 torus fields opposing one another over where Mount Meru is, and then there's water all around, just like we know from Mount Meru. All of this is supposed to be the land, and then you get this bit all the way around, and then you get outside lands and buildings. So this is the Labda, as I proposed on my series Great Secret Never Told, which you can find on my channel. The magnetic vortices, if you want to call them a gravitational well, if you want to call them a North Pole hole. And if you can see, it's going down and then it's producing a pyramid underneath the same shape as it's producing upwardly. And at the same time as when it's doing that, it's emanating an acoustic frequency, which is in fact holding the water dome in place. Because water can be held in stasis by an acoustic frequency. Also, it leaves a hole for a period of time. Okay, like I said, the torus field going in, the torus field simultaneously passing one another. That's what causes the gravitational field that they call it in this place. Is purely electromagnetics, push and pull. That happens here first, the center of said apple. Okay, the pith is what I think is happening. And this guy who designed this definitely thinks it's happening as well. In Darling Park in Sydney, this shows technasmia. It shows magnetic propagation lines beyond what we know to be here on our flat Earth plane. And also he has, in the middle, a giant Mount Meru. And this is working also as a sundial. No shit. Because the sundial proves the Earth is indeed flat. So yeah, the story of Olaf Johnson, you know, is a beautiful story. I've got the book right by there, and he goes to beyond with his father, beyond the north winds, and it gets warmer and warmer. They're like blown away, like you would be, because it's supposed to be freezing bloody cold. They get to this land, and there are kindly giants dressed in long silks. They spend a number of years with these people who were very, very kind. They had an unbelievable civilization. And this guy here, I'm guessing he's a Mongolian, he's very regal looking, but he's also a giant, and he's in a lot of photographs, and he's in the same silks as you see in the pictures that came with Emerson's book, The Smoky God. The size, he's a whopper, isn't he? But yeah, he knows something. He's from somewhere. And here they are, very intrigued with us little people. I know what you're thinking. It's like Gulliver's Travels. They've gone to Lilliput. Yeah, I know. It's mad, isn't it? All in silk as well. Love silk, do you? Feels really nice, silk. They went to see the king, who was a nice chap. He said, yeah, you can hang around, yeah? Just chill out and just be awesome, which they did. And then he went back and told people when he went to America, and they were like, yeah, you loony tune. And they stuck him in a lunatic asylum saying, none of this is happening. Well, they would, wouldn't they? Why is there so much evidence that there is more land elsewhere in this place? No, Truman, it's all been discovered. Has it, fuck? Because maybe some of it was under ice until 2020, when the ice age ended. And now it's all thawing out, what they call climate change. And suddenly there may be an elliptical sun magnet coming around and thawing as well. And before we actually witness that other sun, they'll chemtrail the fucking sky so we won't be able to see it, hiding what's in the sky. When it shows up, chem the sky, hide it. So yeah, the voyage to the inner world, it was imagined, and it was all of this fine sort of, in this case, Mayan or Inca type of architecture, but they did have technologies as well. And they spoke in a strange language as well. So I think it's a beautiful narrative, and I think it's a beautiful tale. I'm happy to be alive to witness it all. Very excited. Best of luck to everybody who's going to be doing this. Dave, if you're in the chat, best of luck, my friend. It's a biggie. You got balls like that. Okay, I can't do it because I got other stuff I'm going. I'll chip away over here at saving humanity over here. Okay, guys? Oi, over Billy. So yeah, let's have a look at some other subjects now concerning this really resets. But we're gonna just waltz through some cool images. We're gonna look into meltage now. In a reset, okay, there are a couple of ways of purification. One of them is water, and that comes in two forms: Ragnarok, ice, We just had that one. It's over. Water, which is flood. Bible says he's not going to do a flood next time. Is it going to be the plasma discharge event? That sucks. That melts everything. You can escape it deep underground. The film Greenland shows you that you can be deep underground and escape fire. It does. These buildings in India, they didn't escape the fire. These are ancient buildings, and I think that they have just been spludged with unbelievable heat because it looks like they've been spludged, and they're blackened as well. So what causes that, if you're confused, is imagine lightning, like you can imagine, maybe a lightning bolt and lightning 10,000 times more powerful than anything you've ever witnessed in your life before. That is what you get with a plasma discharge event. It's caused from compression of the atmosphere because of the circumstances arising with warming and possible pole flip. And then you get arcing, and things arc. This place arcs. Manuel Velikovsky's Worlds Collide talks of a version of a plasma event that happens, where indeed he reckons Mercury came too close and arced us out. But in any case, he talks about great electrical upheaval. If you've watched the Electrical Universe series, people, they talk about plasma discharge events as well. And I've been talking about these for a number of years now, and I definitely think there is something in it, because this looks like it's been softened to the point that you could touch it and it would just be soft. And these all over Christendom, I think there are a lot of giant mushrooms, maybe even trees. We'll look at giant trees in a bit. Stick around, you'll be able to see a little bit. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul Callum. I really appreciate that. It's really lovely. Ooh, look at this one. So I don't think that they chiseled out all of this into. I think the building was there and then it all got spludged. And look at this. This is in India. Yeah, the same cubes going inwardly that you get in Pumapunko near Lake Titicaca, which is just, South America. So we're getting the same architectural styles in India as you get in South America, Peru. So yeah, people are living in them. How would they get into them? Are they flying into them, or was this place all underwater? You could just swim into them. I think it was a mixture of both, plasma and water. This place looks like it just dripped all the way down there. And look at these, holding this up. Wow. That sort of proves that these were there before, doesn't it? You can't carve out all of this and then put the columns up. The whole fucking thing would come down, wouldn't it? So the columns were there first and all of this melted later. Wow, that is unbelievable. You see all the minerals as well leaching in there. This is nice. Look at this one in Britain. Oh, there's a lot of graves there in that old abbey. I'm afraid I'm not sure where this one is. I think it's somewhere near Whitby. I think it's in Yorkshire somewhere. But yeah, look at that thing. Whew. So yeah, I've seen a few of these myself. I've seen one in Nottingham. Harlex, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a splodge stone that looked exactly like this, which looked like a melted building. And I also, when I was in the Czech Republic, Krumlov Castle was just like the bottom was all melted into the rock as well. Literally, bricks melded into the stone, no doubt about it, showing that there was dramatic heat at some stage that caused this blobbing effect, bubbling effect, which you get with unbelievable amounts of heat. Port of Flavia, bloody Romans, what have they ever done for us? It takes a railroad under the mountain there. Interesting, just put into the cliff there. I wonder how you get up to it. Don't even ask. Maybe a big ship. I think ships were a lot bigger back then, actually. Giant ships for giants, made from big trees. So we see these. Now, I said these are an oscilloscope vibrational frequency that are put into a column you see all over India. But these, you know, some stalagmite, stalactite formations are also covered, these sort of things. So initially, I think they were them in caves as well. So there's plenty of places in Britain like this which show this strange bending, like it's plasticine, and I'm completely aware of what they say for the geological events that may have caused this, but I'm not going with their geology at all. This building is just like melded into the stone because it's been there that long. You see these in Tintagel, in other places in Britain. There's one in West Wales, I can't remember the name of it, and then when I was little, spooky little place that was. So bricks can melt, and as you can see, they've literally turned into plasticine here. Now I know they get baked in ovens, and then that's how you make bricks. So you have to imagine that the temperatures we're talking about are thousands of degrees, like thousands and thousands of degrees to be able to melt a brick, which it does. Some bricks are bubbled, showing exceptional heat. So I definitely think this place is plasma reset. The Bible surely tells you about it with divine justice or divine judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah. As you know, 2 cities that were completely destroyed by a plasma event, okay, or what you might call brimstone, which is meteors, if you like. Interesting, there's an A over the door. I don't know what that's for. There's a few crucifixions taking place. Like, nice to see that they're keeping things going. Church on fire. What looks like a nasty ass nuclear mushroom cloud, but it's not. This looks like it's the top of a tree, maybe. And the strange Phoenician stuff going on. If you want to follow my channel, you're going to know all about that. So what happens, right, is an angel, Lot, he saved the angel from getting molested in Sodom, because apparently it's a really dodgy place. And the angel said, come here. Thank you for that. I'm going to tip you off. So what you mean, like, for saving me from that terrible thing that was going to happen to me. God is going to destroy this city like 8 o'clock in the morning. So you better go, take your wife with you. Don't look back. Don't look back in anger. No, don't do that. Here you say. So yeah, must she be naked? Oh yeah, she mustn't have any clothes on. Go to a bunker that will be waiting. As you can see here, on top of the tree, all of Sodom gets nuked from above. God. And Lot, there he is, hanging out with the ladies in his cave. Okay, surviving Armageddon in fine style. But as you can see, Lot, lover, she took a last look back. Now, if by any remote chance the people that rule us go completely nuts and start firing rockets at one another and blowing shit up, yeah, it's probably best to not look back, is my advice. Because the Bible tells you not to look back. So don't look back. Which may be a good idea if everybody's thinking of Exodus in this place to a new world, which is fucking fantastic. Going home. So yeah, go discover new worlds. Tell us all about it, and then we'll all like do a massive exodus on boats down there. That's the plan. Okay? In like Flynn. So yeah, you got to have a bunker when there's a plasma event. They all go underground, going underground. Okay, and he's copping a feel. He's got 2 women, and they ain't got that many. That's why. I think that's why Lot. He's saying, "Take a last look back, love." She went, "Oh, well, okay." Pillar of salt, like literally vitrified because of the fucking heat of the nuclear blast. There she is, and he pisses off. Happy as Larry. So it's a dodgy old story, but look at the architecture in Sodom and Gomorrah for Bronze Age in these paintings. There's the angel. Come on, off you go. You can be saved. You're awfully nice people. You're the best of them all. There. Look what happened to Lot. Silly sausage. And there's the angel. Come on, girls. Come on, Lot. Come into your new bunker. Let me show you where it is. Vault 33. You're going to love it. Plenty of juicy food. So, yeah, went to shit in a handbag. So let's hope that nightmare doesn't happen. But I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him anymore. And anything's possible. And Trump, he's definitely the best actor they've had yet. He endlessly amuses me. It's totally bonkers. But yeah, he's definitely the best actor they've had since Ronald Reagan, who was a cowboy. Yeah, definitely. And he's endlessly amusing. He just makes shit up. And he swears as well. American presidents don't usually swear. So yeah, this is this hell and brimstone that comes down and shatters your city. So don't look back like she did there. Okay. Plasma reset. Definitely a narrative of resets. So what to do? Skip town. Okay. Get out of Dodge. Obviously a good one. If you are like, wanting to survive the Matrix, like most of us are, going off grid, doing it properly, you're going to have a few shekels. If I could, I would. Believe me, I would get out of the Matrix if I could. I think all of us would, tied into this fucking taxes life is just horrible, isn't it? So in the past, what they did, okay, was they went to underground places, and I think there's still vaults down there now. These are Kirsters, and I find it fascinating that this aquifer here is an underground place which is 1,000 miles across. This is the Mongolian Basin, okay, on modern maps. Interesting, the Caspian Sea up there is Sala and Baco, like Bacchus. Caspian Sea is named after Bacchus. But anyway, so Kirster's mapping these giant aquifers. Now, you could live in them. You could live in them, and you could have a water world, if you like, or build cities, boats, live in them quite comfortably, couldn't you? So what else Kirster shows you as well in these unbelievable books, actually, I think he's the last person in this place of any information, is underground tunnel systems. So apparently under South Africa, a couple of 1,000 miles across is a giant aquifer. And that would be, if it's there, like this map proposes, a place that many, many people could get to and live in to avoid any catastrophe. This one is empty of water. Sub Anubis. Is that what it's saying? And Dibis. Sub Dibis. So yeah, this is underground. I don't think that's got water. I think it is, but it's absolutely massive. And it's like literally the entire size of the Amazon. You can see up here, Lake Titicaca is 10 times bigger. Apparently you had a tsunami, that's what took out Pumapunku. But there's no way it's that big in nowadays. It's huge. Lake Titicaca is huge. This, I don't know what it is, but they're saying it's under the Amazon. What if they're there? And he also says that between the gates of Hercules, so this is Spain and Africa, Morocco, this is Gibraltar, so we're looking this way, across to America. These islands, Atlanticus and Infula Atlantis, which apparently, according to Plato, got taken out in a flood, which is probably the biblical flood, which took out probably a lot of land and rewrote the maps. Like island California is not an island anymore. Something happened since that time. These maps are unbelievable. And why are they unbelievable? Well, they kill a historical narrative, but you try and imagine a underground or underground subterranean canal that's gone from the Caspian Sea to the across the entire Caucasus Mountain. So there's a underground tunnel, a canal, that you can go thousands of miles under the Caucasus Mountains into the interior of Asia, Persia. And then it goes south through Georgia, the whole of Georgia, and it links up with the sea here. Underground canal systems. Why is he proposing them? If they're not, I think they were there. I think they're still there. Why would you map them and know exactly where they are as well? This one here, look, canal subterraneous. This one, this is the, if you don't know where we are, this is Cyprus, and you can see this is the Nile Delta. He's got, this is the Red Sea, Canalis Subterraneous News. He's got the Suez Canal there hundreds of years before it was built. So it was there already. So they just dug it out. Same as they did with the Panama Canal, guys. They just dug it out. It was there already. That just kills the historical narrative stone dead, doesn't it? Jerusalem there, Jerusalem, because this is the Holy Land, Tripoli, and what was Phoenicia. But you can see, you know, these tunnel systems are expansive, and this is all the post-flood world as well, you know. And that's all the way through to the Red Sea, to the interior of Europe, just thousands of miles long of underground waterways. Here's another one here. Well, we've got a flumini, which is volcanoes, which they also harness as some sort of device, and they use it as well for, I don't know, maybe powering cities, hydroelectric, or using the heat to boil steam, maybe, who even knows. But I have seen many depictions from Kirchner of which I've got on this channel, of volcanoes actually being machines. So yeah, this is Kirchner's effort of a post-flood world. He shows magnetic anomalies. He shows the southern magnetic anomaly that we talk about so much. And Bakami used to talk about this a lot on Globebusters back in the day. Oh, remember Bob? But these, you know, it sort of suggested that there was something here as well. So that might be a clue. But yeah, all the lands are on this map in the north. And an archipelago of islands there, south of, and all of this land, which is not supposed to be there. So we got looking, this is Scandinavia again, we're looking westerly. This is Britain. Okay, that's why it looks so weird, but you can see the tides as well. It's showing you. Denmark is only tiny on there. So piss poor cartography, really. And just have a look at America. Have we got the Panama Canal on there? No, but it's not far to go through, is it? There's a lake halfway. You know, he bangs on like Trump. Oh, 50 and 80 or 50,000 Americans died building that canal, and that's why we want it back. I'm like, well, as soon as he starts banging on about it, I doubt whether that narrative even happened. And photographs don't prove that it happened, actually. This one's up in Norway. It's bonkers. So you get a subterranean system, goes into a mountain, goes into this, and then out here into the sea. Now this, as I've shown before, is a vortex off the coast of Norway, a whirlpool that is a way through to other lands. I'm sure it is. It is in Pirates of the Caribbean, and vortexes are time tunnels, and vortices are the way out. So there we've got Scandinavia. Okay, I don't know how they were building these in freezing cold weather, but they got tunnels going through Lapland. Not on this, I'll show you on the next one. So that's Scandinavia. And this is the Mediterranean. It's a giant, almost a lake. It has no tide whatsoever. And if you look in the corner there, you can see the Suez Canal before it was actually built, like 200 years before it was built. Lying bastards. Oh, the other sea was the Black Sea it was connecting to. So we've got a canal going from the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea, under the Caucasus, thousands of miles. How are they doing that in the Asian world? And it says Tartaria here, all is Tartaria, America there, and Greenland there. So the only three things on this northern projection is Greenland, America, and Tartaria. Like that's all I say. And they shows you tides and this black bit in the middle. That's all you get for Polaris, the North Pole. And volcanoes, you can see there's a city here, and these volcanoes are being used as some sort of fuel, if you like. So I'm going to come back for a second because I'm going to put a video on in a minute, which is really groovy concerning this very same subject. Let me just check what is going on in the house. 650 of you watching. Thank you for being here. Ryan, Sig, India. I've been here since the beginning, but my chat feed went kaput. Well, you're back now. It's lovely to see you, my lovely friend. And Dallas Fowler, another lovely friend, Squirrel Sniper, who does awesome research. And Willow of Bliss, Mr. Bunch. Don't worry, we got plenty to go. You can always go back to the beginning. CJ, good to see you. Periodic table, though, I just don't know about that anymore. Just, I'll go into that in another post. Internal visions, good to see you. A water pumping, a baby. Okay, let's get back in. Now I'm going to play a video now, guys. And that gives me 50 minutes. Now, this is rare photographs. You want to see these before. I was going to present it this week, but I thought I could keep it for the weekends. Today, I'm Martin, farting, pudding, and pie. You can make up the rest of that rhyme if you want to. Martin, farting, pudding, and pie. There is the rest of that song, but I'm not going to tell you it. Okay. Enjoy. Now, these are the oldest stereoscopic images you will see of the Klondike in Alaska and Tartarian architecture in Alaska. But you can see how tough life is. And there's a place called the Golden Staircase. Really intriguing stuff. So, okay. There you are. Kiss the girls and made them cry. How do you know that one then?
Channel. Another video here for you today. Hope you enjoy. We're going to look at the earliest available photographs of the Klondike. The Klondike Bonanza. There's gold in them there hills. And gold, there's funny things to a man's soul. Well, let's just have a look at what we can see in these photographs. This one actually looks like there's something behind there, like stone wall or something, even an opening. We're absolutely sure that they're digging for gold. I don't know. Some of these photographs show, considering this is Alaska, as you know, was bought off Russians, you see a lot in a bit of Tartarian type buildings. This is Dawson City in the Klondike, trading and exploring. So yeah, they had them vast country to explore and exploit its mineral resources. Nothing new under the sun. That's been played out in the modern day, isn't it? So yeah, what was life like for these people who went from where? So they trekked across America, across the prairies, on the back of a horse and cart, and then they went north through all of that Canada to get to Alaska, which is a jolly long way, like thousands of miles, yeah? So what direction did they come in? Are all of these from Canada? Just a mystery to me where all these people come from. Women prospectors on their way to Klondike. And you can see the saloon. They have some rough stories. They say that it was debauchery and all sorts of stories concerning the Klondike. And these are from... It's a bit rough to see that photograph there. It says 1884 on that, I think. Anyway, you can see they got the telegraph going on, but look at the mud. They got to drag shit through. And there's a fair few people. They're all doing the same thing. You get a gold nugget, and then you weigh it in. But look at, they've exploited the wilderness, and just, it looks really ruined at the background. Chopped all the trees down for log cabins, etc. It looks like to just be a shanty town. No, 1864. Really early. But yeah, stereoscopic images are beautiful for Cluage. They really, really are. So yeah, they have really shitty winters, as you know. Onward and upward over the Calicot Pass. You can see a large amount of people going up that mountain pass. Looks bleak as hell. Um, some prospectors taking all that gear with them. So yeah, it must have been worth their while. So what? A lot of them were like, sort of working types, and if they did earn like thousands on a big gold nugget, what are they going to do with their money? Spend it on prostitutes and stuff, and beer, and die. So what are they going to do with the money? But yeah, so they go to any extent to get wealth. Uh, don't know what that pile of stuff is there. Maybe lime? Don't know. So let's have a look. Oh, yeah, what a vast, untamed wilderness. This is shooting through the Grand Canyon of Alaska. Wow, they got a Grand Canyon. So, yeah, what an amazing wilderness, but their winters are like hell. So, yeah, more exploiting. So, is that what they're going to do with? Because it's all about, mineral wealth, isn't it? Now with the precious metals that they're after for computers, etc. Maybe that's what it's all about with Greenland, isn't it? I wonder what they'll rename it. Whiteland? Actually, I reckon the seaward bit, so facing towards Canada, is probably green and warm in the summer, because geologically, or actually longitudinally, southern Greenland is the same as Scandinavia, which has lovely, lovely summers, as we know. So maybe they have lovely summers. Anyway, who knows? So the prospectors at claim. So yeah, whatever you find is yours, and then you could just like find a big gold nugget and hope nobody's going to rip it off you if you get drunk later celebrating. You can weigh it in for cash. So there's some sledge dogs, which are vital. Shaving parlor, so you can get your beard off and look dapper Dan man. But look at this. Looking up Lincoln Street in Sitka, Alaska, is beautiful. It is beautiful mountains, but the buildings are big, big buildings. And it looks very, very nice. Churches and stuff. And this riverbank here is full of what looks like totems. So that would be the Indians. This is an Indian village and canoes. So there's still a native population in Alaska. Look at that. They're clinging onto the side of a mountain. Genua City from across Gastineau Channel, Alaska. What kind of names are these? French? Probably. But yeah, let's check out their. This is the chieftain's house in Alaska. So how come the Indians are building totems down in New Mexico, but also up in Alaska? How come they're all building totems? But do you see totems in Mesoamerica? Wooden totems? I'm not sure. This looks a bit Mesoamerican, especially with the, well, looks like a ship on its head. Super interesting, these stereoscopics. So yeah, what's this? It looks like a store where you get everything you need, and I'll pay you in spring when I find a gold nugget. Okay, are they totems? I guess they are. Wow. Kazakhstan. That sounds Russian, but didn't they buy her off of a whaling company, Russian whaling company, and the Americans? And then it's the next state. I wonder if Greenland will be like the 53rd state of America. A miner's home at North Cape. Wow, that far north, and it's not much now. A bit frosty on the floor. I bet it's warm with the wood burning. A nice little dog there, look. So yeah, looks like a really hard life. So this is Geneva City Main Street, which is elevated because maybe they get like mud running through. But look, it's all up in the air. Highly interesting. That is. So yeah, nice place to go and time travel. Not in the winter months. I'm not a big fan of the all winter myself. It's bit too thin for winter me. Um, Indian salmon fishery. Well, they're doing salmon. Oh, I bet that's gorgeous. Oh, that's why you get Alaskan salmon. It was big back then as well. Oh, I love a bit of Alaskan salmon. Ooh, so do the grizzly bears, which I bet they get there here too. So, first white man's log cabin in Haines, Alaska. The first white man in Alaska. Well, and Russians, Alaskans, own Alaska. I think they're pretty white. Actually, some of them are Asiatic looking and Chinese looking, aren't they, Russians? Especially out in the east bit. So, yeah, they don't know what they're doing there. Whittling is always a good thing to do. I think they're whittling. The internet goes down, might take up whittling again. Or jigsaw puzzles. So yeah, the population's arriving in Alaska, and some tall ships and a steamship as well. Swahit. And it says there, the Mandeville from New York, Portland, Oregon, London, England, Sydney. Jesus, that's been around. That's a big long voyage, that one. From the Keystone View Company. Right, let's have a look at the native Alaskans at the time. In this early point in time. These are so cluey, these early photographs. So they're big into totems, totem scrotum. They're wearing tartan. They're wearing tartan. The Fort Tongass. And the natives are wearing exactly the same as Scottish and Irish and Welsh tartan, the Celts. He looks Celtish. That's weird how they look Celtic. All that way away. And interesting, again, like I said, with the totem face, have you seen that face? Definitely looks Caucasian. Super interesting they're wearing tartan in Alaska, guys, especially with its vicinity to Russia. You know, just across Bering Straits. I bet they had a land bridge at some period in the past. So they look like they got some sort of maybe animal thing, a whale, something maybe. But totems everywhere. But it looks really, really rudimentary and rugged landscape. Towns. But they're not living in teepees, are they? They're living in huts. And there's a town with a big old church. And it's all on stilts because of the water. That's really nice. I quite like stilts myself. And a big old church up in Alaska. We got the Continent Stereoscopic Company. Okay, so look, you're in the town. Wow, that's quite an established town. And they got a load of cows, so there's beef. Government, oh, the reindeer. Okay, the reindeer, I can't tell the difference. It didn't have any antlers, so, you know. Government reindeer en route to Alaska. So the government reindeer. Oh, they belong to the government. Oh, right. Okay, now. And hound for the Klondike gold fields. Oh, bounds, excuse me. It's a misprint there. Oh, yeah, back at the Kilcook Pass. So that looks like once you get over that pass, Jesus, that looks hazardous. I bet many freeze. But anyway, it gets you to the gold. And wow, what a rough lifestyle. Freezing cold wind. Alaska, no less. And then all of the women and the men have got giant packs on their backs. And they've got all their mining equipment, which I'm guessing is made of metal, so it isn't bloody light. Oh, wow. On Dyer's trial. Oh my God, like I said, they dropped like flies on that one, won't they? Jeez. Ah. Oh, look. Actually, they look like they're suited up, like they got proper clothes on, but warm enough. Is that the morgue? Yeah. The morgue after a snowslide. Oh shit, a cheap camp. Right, they have avalanches that totaled a load of people. Okay, so it is pretty dangerous to be a Klondikean. Preparing to climb. Oh, so it takes a big bit of preparation to get up that pass. The Golden Stair. That's interesting. You see it going up there? Wow, imagine how knackering that is, how steep it is. There it is. So miners with their packs climbing the Golden Stair. Interesting name, because it's going to get you to all that gold. There's gold in them there hills. I'm from Wales, and this country is jam-packed with gold, you'll find. It's where they made Lady Di's engagement ring out of, or wedding ring out of precious Welsh gold, which is a lovely type of gold, apparently soft. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick post today. It's a view. I've probably never seen any of these before, of the Klondike in Alaska in an early period. It shows the hardship that it must have been to live there and some other anomalous things, I think. So let me know what you think in comments, guys. And I will be back very shortly with more Flat Earth Britishness. If I could just escape this image, that would be just fantastic. Okay. See. Okay, that's that video. Yeah, fucking hell. Who's building all that in Alaska back in the day? I wonder. And the narrative, how Alaska even came about to be the 51st. Is Hawaii the 52nd? Will Greenland be the 53rd state? I don't even know. Obama didn't even know how many states of America. I seen him on an interview. Somebody asked him, "Do you know how many states of America?" He was like, "Is it 50? Is it 52?" He didn't even know. So there's that. So I'll give a few of you shouts and then get back in with the images. We've got a long way to go. Yeah, maybe another hour. And it is juicy stuff. We're going to look at my images of the week. There's a few humorous things. Totem scrotums. Somebody said they look like the ones from Darakuyu. I would say I thought exactly the same. So thanks for everyone who's been kind. Seen some of you there be kind in chat. Much appreciate anybody who supports me in this endeavor. And that was Dragon Sage, my brother. All right, thanks, bro. And much love to Dallas Fowler. I seen him in chat there as well. Dusky, Loyal Tangy, my bro. Another great one. Thanks. Ooh. It's exciting. I think everyone should be excited for the future anyway. Like, the reset just means that the world's going to change in dramatic ways. And, with the advent of AI, and it being a psycho, things got strange. But the fact still remains that the world is going to change in unbelievable ways. What was it that Tesla said? The world will live to see horrors beyond your imagination. Fucking seen it. Have you seen the AI generated cartoons or whatever the fuck they are? It is like stuff out of your nightmares. You get like, a human and it'll change into like a fucking hideous monster and then it'll melt out into a robot. It's just like, that's the stuff of nightmares. And it's always like on about like cripples and it's really weird. I don't even know what it's doing, but don't like it at all. I get a really icky buzz about it. But the whole world's going to change, not just with AI, with the new structure that is coming. No, the New World Order's been here all along, guys. Don't even think that's just coming from the World War II, all of that, just bullshit, bringing the League of Nations after, complete grip of humanity, or everybody in you, okay, which has happened, okay? There are no differences in governments. It's all just a big ploy to keep everyone scared of perpetual war. We've all read the book 1984. We know this shit's going on. So the world will carry on as normal. Your lives will still carry on as normal, although it'll be dramatically changed. But it's a new beginning, okay? And it is great opportunity for everybody now, okay? A lot of people have gone missing, guys, okay? A lot of people have gone missing. This place is emptying drastically. Have you seen the inner cities of Britain? They're all fucking empty. And I appreciate that the internet and Amazon have put all like retailers out of business. I do appreciate that, but it's more than that. It's everyone's missing. They're just not there anymore, guys. And I'm not just tripping out. That's a fact. So I want to thank Captain Krampus for another mind blower. All right, let's get some more mind blowing images because I got some good juice to share this week. Like I said, it was going to be a juicy show, a juicy flatter day. Wouldn't it be great if every day was a flatter day? It is.
in my mind. So don't worry about it. Okay, back in with the juice. We're going to look at some shroppy images of United States of America, various cities from Minneapolis to Philadelphia to Seattle to New York City. Let's just go through them. I can't guess which city this is, but what we're looking at is the architectural styles. Pioneer Press building. What you find as well, right, with all of these massive buildings for what in my mind is the old world, is you get these massive doors, okay, these arches, and then the bottom bits are always made of like this red granite stone, and this is impervious to floods as well, so the flood waters could go this high. Okay, I think these people who built these for the many people that would have been here at the time, okay, had flood prevention and earthquake prevention in mind. This is why these things are so sturdy and solid, big block. But what's interesting is the Phoenician motifs and decorations you get near the top out of the line of sight here too. And Phoenician head there, it looks like a Bacchus or a green man with the Phoenician vegetation everywhere. So unless you're going along in a balloon or you're in a block of flats across the way, you're not going to see any of that. And you see all these, I don't know what aerial that is, all these photos are around the 1900 mark. So this is a big old star fort. You may be able to recognize it, I'm not sure. The size of that, it's full of water, this big old star fort is. I think the first one in America was St. Augustine in Florida, and that thing's old. Yeah, look at that building there as well. But what beautiful infrastructure in early America just for little tiny horse and carts. Just unbelievable. Look at that. Look at the size of this bugger. And you get the wrought iron on the top as well. A lot of that got stripped back in America too. But massive doors, massive arches, massive windows for a world of horse and carty. Oh, we got a beast. We got a beast. I bet there's loads of. I bet that's the Masonic Hall or something. We got a dragon there with the wings open. Could be eagle. Looks like a dragon now. The size of them, though, guys. Just, I think they're the tops. I don't think these buildings go a lot lower, especially the ones in Chicago with these steam-powered buildings, and in New York. But again, massive doors and these columns up there. Why bother? Why bother with the columns at the top to give it that princely look? And that's the Cadillac. I think this one's in Portland, if I remember rightly. So, yeah, shroppy images are second to none. I absolutely love them. The detail. There's a lot of plaques and information blocked, but all of that, them white panels there are empty. And the circles there are empty. Corinthian tops on there and all this ornamentation. That's an older building, it has to be. They will say, oh, it's 1800s. And then you ask them, have you got basements in here? They'll say, oh, yeah, 2 stories down. I've seen them in America, too. They had basements in places that they just shouldn't have. Center of Houston had mud flooders, for fuck's sake. Right, this one is in Philadelphia because I recognize the column and the tower at the end. This is in Philly. The place has gone, a lot of it's gone downhill, but a lot of it is elite. The Philadelphia lawyers and all that money. But yeah, the size of that arch there, the size of these buildings too. Hardly anyone there. Actually, nobody there. Where is everyone? Holy moly. Isabel, my bro. I really do appreciate that. Much love to you, my friend. Good to see you, man, as well. Again. Around the parapet, they are unreal. Shad, this is the center of I'm sure it's Philly, but look at these classical, yeah, it is, with this column. These classical buildings are absolutely amazing. But like I said, the infrastructure in America was very impressive. The heights of the curbstones were really, really high. So I got it wrong all the time. They're only really low in Britain. So every time I stepped off one, I nearly broke my fucking ankle. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's like a mountain. They were really high. I know that there's something behind the water towers as well. There's a clue there. I think it's Schrodinger type of vortex in water through towers. I think they were, and the water towers of New York and all of cities. That you see one there, you see one there. I think it was an old world science of structuring vortex in water that they were practicing, probably still are in some respects, spinning that water and magnetizing that water as well. And maybe hitting it with the frequency as well. Why not? Do the whole hog. Charm that water and make it sacred. Listen, that good water will make you feel groovy for days on end. That's what it's about. That water you get out of the tap, that's water with the water taken out. Wow. Two kids around, a few people in the distance. There's nobody really about, is there? Look how high that curb is. This is the world of horse and carty. Why is the curb needing to be so high? So you can step off your horse and cart maybe onto the sidewalk. Makes sense, actually. Size of these for absolutely no one about. They were anticipating a world population arriving, though, weren't they? Look at that. All them windows bricked up. How old is that building if they're bricking up windows? And what is that light piece? Is that gas? Actually doesn't really look like, does it? It's two filaments. A lot of wire. I don't think that the narrative for lighting 1 billion gas lights or whatever a night makes any sense to me. So the Colonial Hotel, bit of a skinny one, nobody around again. In Clevedon, Ohio, freight passenger depot for for the Cleveland and Eastern Railway. Okay, so we are in Cleveland. Lovely big old Tartarian city, no doubt about that. Look at that stuff. Whoa. Do you know what? It just looks like my city though. It looks like St Mary Street in Cardiff. All of the main roads, main streets in the cities look the same the world over. You know, there's similarities to Manchester, to Liverpool, to London, and all the American cities. It's that same architecture. Oh wow, that's nice. This does look like it might be like communist or something. It does look communist, doesn't it? Eagle, wings open. You don't get them closed, that's for sure. And a exposition you can see here, which is showing a Chinese exhibit. I'm afraid I don't know what city. And the armories. Now, this is in Cleveland. There's one in Chicago. There's in New York, and they are all castles. So why are they not castles then? The Imperial Eagle again. Same as Rome. Same as the Nazis, actually. They had an eagle too. They're all the same team. They're all the same club. There's no doubt about it. And they just don't tell the people the truth. They lie to them about everything. Whatever you do, don't let the people find out the truth about this place. Keep them in a state of mind control, fear, scarcity, shortages, scared of this, scared of that, catching this, getting that. Everybody is scared of everything. And social media, well, that helps that along. No end. I know people, and I've been affected myself in my MK Ultra, of being just completely changing their lives off of the back of a YouTube channel, which some entitled fuck had made up and made a load of money out of. And then this person's like, well, my life's got the shit because of that. That didn't go the way I planned. It's like, yeah, maybe if you just carried on with your life and not listened to fucking YouTubers, everything would have been great. Present company accepted, though. Right, that's not a mud flood, there is it. And it's not earthquake proof either. It's just a big chunk of hard, big, fat stone. And a nice electric tram with a rammer as well. So that's in the days of the Model T Ford. We're looking at 1915, along probably a little bit later maybe in that image. And Philly, look at this. So they hadn't gone nuts on billboards back then, but they were starting to, weren't they? Ooh, look, numpty. Nymphery. Numpty's a word in Britain. So yeah, if you want to eat healthily in America, you got to go to these places, the whole meal retail places, and they charge a whole ton more money for all of the good stuff. Yeah, I haven't been eating bread. I'm like bread off about it all. I'm thinking of getting one of those bread baking machines that Ozzy Osbourne had. I'm baking my own fucking bread. Is what I'm thinking. I'm dunking in my own homemade soup, like leek and potato or pea and ham or something along those lines. I had a pea and ham soup the other day. Oh my god, was it tasty! I was like literally making noises with it. Oh, it was glorious. I do love my food, and I do make nice food as well. So, images of the day, and we're going to be cutting out of them. We still got just nearly 600 people still in the house. Much love. Thanks for watching for so long, and thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show so far. The juicy flat today, and what we got here is a load of carving in a building, but the Phoenicians again, empty plaque, no information. All the shells, the Cherubanuskis, the vegetation, the weird faces. Again, I noticed with the Phoenician thing as well, it's quite like a nightmare too. It's very nightmare-esque. I've seen these Phoenicians years ago on churches and like come to life. Can't go into circumstances why they did. And I remember thinking there's something up with you lot. And then the whole narrative of this came along, and these Phoenician faces turned up, and I'm like, moment I seen them, I'm like, oh, it's them. Seen them tripping. They ain't right. If you get my drift. So yeah, these all made of marble. Wonder what machined marble back then. And look at that, the whole thing on there, the decoration. Holy fuck! Wow. So that's where all the taxpayers' money goes, guys. Looks like it's in some sort of church. Bugger. So yeah, I do think that there was a big tree chopped down, and the circumstances. Well, maybe the giants built giant ships and got the fuck out of here and went to these lands, which are going to be probed shortly, hopefully. But I definitely think some of these anomalies we see, maybe Devil's Tower. I can't imagine trees being 60 miles high and going into like, the icy cold up there. It doesn't really go with organic tree matter. It wouldn't be able to do it. So obviously they're a lot lower than that. But still really, really big. And I reckon for some reason they all got chopped off. And the world must have looked like this, just the stumps of giant trees, which over time have, in fact, solidified and now are mesas. Some mesas that I've seen in America look like tree trunks. They look like they were wood. They look like they were wood at some stage. So you can see this image here of Norse mythology, the world tree, the Axis Mundi that's coming out of this mountain in the center of the plain. Yeah, Mount Meru, exactly the same. And you can see here all of the ice that's all the way around our flat plain as well. They show on Norse mythology. So many Asian mythologies tell us. So personally, I've not withdrawn from society. I have withdrawn from the illusion, which is why I'm not really scared of death, because you're not really, what are you losing? You're losing the illusion. It wasn't real to begin with. So what's the point in worrying about any of it? Even the game, I've been so I got a lot of skin in the game. I've been thinking about it over the last few weeks, actually, of the effort that I have made in my quest to bring truths to humanity. It's quite fucking mind-blowing when you think about it. But I really do want to do something really special and really good for everybody. That's my main intent. Something really beautiful for everybody. That's what I want. So these silly fuckers, yeah, they're like, wow, it was an amazing battle, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Did it hurt when the cannonball took your leg off? It's like, yeah, it stung a bit. Should have put some ointment on that, mate. These are survivors of the American Civil War. They're probably on the battlefields of Gettysburg. And after the American Civil War, like a year after, they're all best buddies again. Okay, and then they're all doing reenactments, pretending to kill one another like they were the first time. This is a weird picture, and I really do wish somebody would bloody do some AI shit on this and get it magged up. I want to know what these are in the background. This is a captured German trench in the First World War. The British are nicking their Wiener Schnitzel and nicking their sauerkraut that they got in jars in there, because the Germans had lovely stuff. These, now they're not tanks. There's two things coming off them. They're not landmines. They're too big. These are a secret weapon that's been caught in a photograph. I don't know what these are. So they're like big. There's loads of them. They look like ships, but they're not ships because they're in a field. I don't know what they are, but I think they're a secret weapon that's been caught in a photograph, because I can't identify them and I'm good with military stuff. So, question. You've been kidnapped. 2 hours later, you were returned because you can't stop talking about what? Flat Earth? Your life. That would be me. Let me tell you about my life. Oh, please don't. Yeah, it started a long time ago. Your life. Yeah, a long time ago. My earliest memory. I'll start there and I'll work through to my current age. This may take some time. What would you not stop talking about? Come on. Can't stop talking about flat Earth. He's doing my head in. You keep saying the Earth's flat. Stop saying the Earth's flat. It's not. Oh, it's not a globe. It's not. That's why they gag you, Martin. Well, B. Williams. I try to be kind, but I am a truther, and truthers got a truth, haven't they? So this is a beach in Atlantic City, and it is a beautiful day, and everyone's getting on the beach and getting a suntan, and it's not exactly like Benidorm or titties everywhere, is it? She looks very beautiful though. She'll get her arms sunburnt, so everyone is completely covered up. The young chappie's got to wear these strange overall things. So yeah, what I noticed on that beach is a lot of clothing. Yeah. Really weird. Do you think back in the pre-reset days, the people were like wearing loads of shitty clothes on the boiling hot beach? No, I don't think so. I think they was not wearing anything, or as little as possible. Common sense. So yeah, it's a funny round we live in. I'm glad I was born in this life, and it was a good era to be born in, because I went through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. All I missed a couple of decades, but I don't care about that. It's all part of life anyway. And they say if you can remember it, you weren't there. I can't remember it, so there's that. So yeah, the scepters, the royal scepters, what do they really do? That's what they really do. Britain is a sceptred isle. They are an electromagnetic weapon that causes great destruction, and if you smack your head with it, your eyeballs pop out. And also the holy hand grenade, but he doesn't test that. Here are the Romanovs and their bodyguards. It's a wonder that they got captured by the Bolsheviks and taken off to the Gulag and actually executed, isn't it? When they got so many bodyguards. It's like, get the Romanovs. I noticed Rasputin's kept out of this photograph. I bet he's out of the window, in the window, going, look at these fuckers. Look at him. So yeah, there's the Tsarina, and it looks like Anastasia as well in that photo. And there's a guy in the window there. I think he should be executed. The size of the statues, and they are Phoenicians with the undeveloped bottom because they come out of the water. And they're in a metamorphic state. So yeah, that is the Admiralty and the Marine. So that's a load of sailors, not his bodyguard. Fucking stupid, isn't it? This is an explorer, a Russian explorer. I find it really interesting, the map he has on his wall. He's thinking about what I think about. Interesting, isn't it? Azimuth equidistant in it. Good morning. You need to calm the fuck down. No, I'm going to do that. Because good morning is like, what are you mourning? So who died? Don't dare dog me. Yeah, if you're going to be nice, yeah, and you want to make an electromagnetic connection, me to love you, you need to not trauma bond with me or try that shit, because I don't fucking do it, and it ain't washing, because I'm going to give my energy to anything that is toxic, negative, and good morning is, she's got a right hat in the right place. You can't really tell them, can you? You know, let them, just tell them to calm the fuck down. If they're all excited about good mornings, here's God with his laser beam. So that's how I imagine Trump as well. Trump's like Homelander. Do you know when he's saying like he's in the Oval Office and he's got pop stars in there, or them little gimps that is his cabinet, and they're like sat behind him and going, yes, Donny, like this. He's like Homelander. It's like, I bet he makes him do dirty stuff. It's like, get here or I'll fucking laser beam your face off. I bet Trump friends to laser beam their face off with his fucking Homelander laser beam eyes. Like this guy got. Jesus will laser beam your eyes out if you don't do as you're told. It's a tricky game though, because I was thinking about it a bit actually, is Jesus saves souls and the devil buys souls. Oh shit. It's not the same thing really, isn't it? It's like, it's about accumulating souls. And now I know there were Victorian machines to say they could weigh the human soul. It's about 6 grams, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Or 9, doesn't matter. But obviously science says that there isn't a soul, because they're going with like normal mechanical processes of living in the real world. So they don't do the soul. Where are your souls? On the bottom of your feet. That's where they are, connecting with the ground. Right, this one here, I know exactly what she's saying. Have you noticed they're all blonde? So this guy's getting rid of blonde people. So there may be something in there. I have a cunning idea. Well, she better think quick, because the next idea is going to be have to be the fucking best idea she's got. He's got a mallet. He's going to mallet your head off. So yeah, execution. Yes, please. So Noah here in the year of, so Noah's flood was in the year of 992. So just before the Norman conquests of 1066 was Noah's flood, according to this. It's interesting, isn't it? Another strange date there, a Y216 maybe. Not sure what that is. What a shit boat for humanity to start in. To me, all of this is an actual codex for what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, because I think all of this happens in the future, and I also think that Adam and Eve also happen in the future, but it'll probably be Adam and Steve. Salvador Mundi, the most expensive painting in the world. And I don't know why he's doing Smell My Fingers and got all of this fucking money on him. It's a bit capitalistic for a messiah. See me, I wouldn't support a messiah if he was a mad capitalist. I'm just like that. Money's a great thing, don't get me wrong, and things are great things as well. But when you're covering yourself in like Rolexes and driving around in a Lambo and spending all your money on Charlie, like he looks like he's doing, I don't approve. Okay, it's a waste of money. Here is a Melusine, and she's coming up through the water and she's playing a pipe. And that sound, right, I'll tell you about that now. So you get bewitched, you get beguiled, you get bewitched, yeah. By, in this case with the sirens, it's a sound that never lets you the fuck go, stays with you, and you want more and you want it back, and you're just going to be a miserable get until you've actually had it back. Okay, so that's the thing with the trumper of the siren, or the singing of the siren. Okay, I think that's what's going on. I don't know what's happened with Mercury here. He's got 2 serpents for his caduceus. He has got these wing boots on. This guy, yeah, he's like, while you're down there, leper, he said, have you seen my cock? Sorry, what you say? He said, my cock, my rooster, right there. Oh, sorry. It's difficult to say what's going on with this man. I think it's something to do with hallucinogenic drugs, though. But yeah, what's going on with the trippy ass fucking Mercury? Wing boots would be awesome. I wouldn't mind a pair of wing boots. So yeah, I've been the court jester. I played the court jester in the highest court in the land, entertaining royalty and pissing them off royally. But I did it on purpose. That's the truth. This one's in Russia, and it's an arch that looks like it's been there a while, to be honest with you. I don't think this designates that it's all going to be built then. It looks old, and it looks shattered right here. It is shattered right here, and it's old as all facts, and it's all dirty inside, covered with mold. Same Phoenician stuff going on in Russia. So I couldn't really work out the date for this picture. It looks like it's been covered up. Tioa, I don't know, last date maybe, but P. So it's 1811, but it's not really, is it? It's like the letters have been put over something else. So I think that is a broken arch. So death rays, that'd be good if they used them. If they had one on a raft, you could just tow her in the back of your battleship and melt a fucking building. Fucking death rays are definitely a thing they got then. Who remembers these in the 1970s? I had exactly identical. Mind you, they look a bit woke now. We wouldn't be able to have them, would we? And go through them. Going through them would make you automatically gay, probably. So yeah, but in my house when I grew up in Ely, yeah, we had these, and they catch on. We had to tie them the same as well. They catch on you. You pull the fucking thing down. I think I almost strangled myself on these dangly things we had. My mum changed them. She got some in the Oriental house off the Chinese, some bamboo ones. They were fucking lethal as well. They always caught on your belt and dragged them off. She used to go nuts. What were they called, these things? Beaded curtains. Anyway, this one's in Russia, in Germany, and it's to commemorate an old battle. Wilhelm there. These got wings like Mercury on their helmet too. He has. And them spikes they got on their helmets, if you run into somebody with like your helmet first, it'd be like a lethal blow on your helmet. So that's Kaiser, the Reich, Kaiser Wilhelm. And there is the Imperial Eagle, wings open, as you get in Germany, as you get in all of the Western world. And this plinth as well looks like the base of the Statue of Liberty, wouldn't you agree? Look at the size of this thing. Look at him. He looks like a pissed off Viking. God, imagine how sulky he is if I was to be brought in front of him. This one won't stop talking, your sire. So, what are you? Welsh, sire. I don't like you. Feelings mutual, sire. Oh, hit him! Poof. I can imagine I would do his head right in and probably make him cry within minutes as well. Okay. Make him go away. Seal his mouth. So yeah, whatever it is, it's massive and it's there, if you can read that. Because I'm not going to attempt to read that, actually. Phew, it's a mouthful. So yeah, massive load of stone. The plinth looks like the base of something in the past. This is a crown top. But I reckon this looks just like Statue of Liberty plinth. But it's massive. And look at that as well. What's that in the background? Oh, it's near Zurich. This is 1899, near Zurich. It's not Germany, then this one. Zurich, Switzerland, excuse me. Same, they speak German there as well. In Zurich. Automated people. So I wonder if there are robots out there that look like people and they're not telling us. They're just putting them out. AI people. Super clever people. You spot them, everyone's fat and fuck now, aren't they? So there's that. You spot them a mile off. It's like, fuck no. First thing that's jumping in your mind is they got to be a reptilian. They can't look like that. How are they so fucking well? So yeah, lots of cogs, of clockwork, human being in the past. Cute. So yeah, camera obscura. I've had a go at one of these. I can't remember. I think it was in Bristol, near Cheddar Caves, I think it was somewhere. And it reflects the outside. They're absolutely fantastic. And no, I've had a couple of goes on a couple of them. There was one I had to go in Czech Republic. I was like, I've had loads of goes on camera obscuras over the years. But you can imagine how much of a novelty it was, 1882, seeing a crystal view of the streets outside. They should bring these back. I think they're really groovy. 2 optical instruments explained. We've got the video camera here. It's working on lime light. So limelight was used in theatres as well, wasn't it? Gas-powered limelight condenser slide focusing. So it's just those slides not moving. And more camera obscura. So if you had to go one of them, they're really funky. Thank you, Hippie Shake. That's really kind for you to say. I've got loads of really groovy stuff. Look how beautiful that is. It's absolutely beautiful. This is in Switzerland also. Not many people around, but any countries that begin with S, except for Somalia, probably. As far as you can. Actually, I can think of loads of countries with S now that are not doing really, really well. But Sweden and Switzerland, they got fantastic shit going on. Excuse my French. Check them Venetian towers and the size of that beautiful building. Wow. It is in a different light. I love these ornate lampposts. I wish they'd bring them back. And it's called Tonhall. 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 And that's inside Tonhall. See what it says down there? In Zurich as well. So this is in Zurich, in Switzerland as well. That's where all that money goes, all them banks full of all that cash. Nice big organ there as well. I wonder who painted the ceilings. My God, the effort. So yeah, look at this. Metropolitan Railway, book to Wood Lane Exhibition Station, the only station right in the ground. So they had their own railway station built for an exposition. It'll take you straight to it. In London, I'm guessing. This is Barry in South Wales. This era has gone, but 100 years ago, when Mr. Holtier was around, the industrialist, Barry, the small town, it's not small, it's quite big, a town near Cardiff, was covered in chimneys of industry that are all gone. There's not one left. And Barry Island, this is where you go in the sea. If you're from Cardiff, it's a sad story. I don't want to go into it. I quite like Barry Island. Got some fond memories of my feet cut open and keeping my mouth shut. That was the main instruction of going in the sea at Barry Island. Keep your mouth shut, Matt, because of the turds. Okay, ma'am. Running the sea, and then everyone would run out like the Jaws movie. It ain't a shark, it's a lizard. Check this out. The fire altar. Halves of the hidden world. The technology is amazing of the old world, I would say. Radium or quartz lining, no soot, no ash, mythical carvings, directional placement. In sacred traditions, fire isn't just a flame, it is a frequency. Yep. These altars, so they're altars, for warming rooms, they were for activating energy, connecting spirits, and anchoring ritual. Sounds like AI said that. That sounds AI language is fuck. Fuck off, AI. So look at this for a Phoenician. I'm sick of people keep repeating AI stuff back to me. I identify it like that. It's like, well, it's just everyone's just stop thinking for themselves automatically. Not everyone, but it's a pain in the ass. Go away and leave us alone. The internet was fine before then. So yeah, I don't think the narrative for them actually being coal fires or wooden log burners in these old fires. I think these androns were radiant energy, probably through, like that suggested, radium. Look at that though. Imagine that in your house. I'd love that. It's a bit scary looking, but it's good. It's different. Talking point, isn't it? I used to have a fantastic fireplace. The insert itself was worth a couple of grand. We had to leave it as part of moving the house as well, and I was just so upset to leave it. But we were moving into another place, so I had to leave it. It was fucking fantastic, that fire. It's just beautiful. It looked like this as well on the marbling. It's been crazy to do that. But I couldn't take it out, and it would have damaged it. It was all in pieces, so I had to replace it. It was too much expense. Didn't have long story. You'll have to stay. So they had a good deal. People we swapped with. Fucking hell. That's nice. Fangs for the memories. So again with the Phoenician leaves, again with a Phoenician blank plaque or mirror, because that's where the Phoenicians are. Look at Bjork when she was a little boy. Yeah, Bjork's a little boy. No, she is. If you look at the video of human behavior when she's standing on the back of a lorry, skipping back and forth, if you look closely, you can see she got a willy. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but notice, and I was like, fuck me. Goldie didn't say anything about that, did he? So yeah, there she is in a Swedish pop group. She was actually a child prodigy and sung hymns or folk songs and got famous. But you can see there, she's clearly a little boy. And I think she's got a song called Venus as a boy on her debut album. And the fact, I listened to the debut album, well, it's a fantastic album. Don't get me wrong, I've listened to it 1,000 times. I do love that album. It's just, the more I think about it, I'm like, this album's saying that she's a dude. She's like, I'm literally saying that she's a dude. So yeah, these angels and all the rest, these celestial hosts, demons, all of them put together. It's a bit of a shit show. I reckon they should be all locked in a room as well. So I can see now why Brian Epstein, who was not popular as a homosexual in the 1960s, I think people still went to jail back then for that sort of business, liked his boys, or in his case, I like my boys, because looking at the Beatles with their really nice leather pants on, especially Paul there sporting girls' boots or whatever they are. Wow. I can't believe I even liked the Beatles. God, this is the end of the Depression coin, 1932. So America gets a all-seeing eye on the back of a shamrock leaf or a lucky clover leaf, 4-leaf clover, and a swastika. And I think behind it is a Jewish Star of David, not that that even exists. It's confusing, 1932, before the Second World War, Jewish cross, swastika on top, clover on top of that, and an all-seeing eye in the middle. They're all on the same side. It's all the same game. Gaddafi Duck. Love Gaddafi Duck. Check out his style. Look at Gaddafi Duck's bodyguard. I mean, this guy had style, didn't he? Do you love Gaddafi Duck? Yeah, he's fucking awesome, isn't he? Such a shit they killed him. But he had to. They kill all the good ones, don't they? Gaddafi, Jimi Hendrix, Brian Jones. Fucking, they all had to go. But yeah, check his bodyguards out. Fucking hell. Oh my God. Don't be alarmed and don't be scared, okay? Nobody was harmed in the making of this Flat Earth British blog, okay? These are children's styles in the 1970s for cold weather. Okay, you could send your children out publicly like this, which is not dissimilar to what went on in 2020 anyway, isn't it? A lot of people donned strange. I seen one woman, right? She didn't look happy with me. They never do, though. She had mask on and she had this screen on as well with all spit on it. I was like, and it was like there was a damp patch. It's like in front of it. I don't even want to go into it. Anyway, I think they're quite cute. No, they're not. They're actually really satanic and scary looking. You know, you wear a balaclava in the modern day. It's all's good. No, you're just a drug dealer. Yeah. Back in the day, if you wore a mask, you went into a bank, you were going to rob that fucker. Now it's just nothing. Now it's just nothing. You can go wrong. And we got, like, I live in Cardiff, we've got facial recognition. They're like, oh, here he is. It's quite creepy, isn't it? Do you feel scared? I got an uneasy feeling as well. It's funny how wool can make you feel so weird, isn't it? Nice herringbone on the one there. This is the worst one. This is like Freddy Krueger of the balaclavas, isn't it? Which one would you have? I think I'd go for the Fu Manchu look. The old tash, I think. The ginger Mohican's a good look, though. Little ginger beard, too. Strange round we live in, guys. This is from a hoard called the Albert or Arthur. No. Alfred. King Alfred. The Saxon gold that was found in the 1600s in a field in England, and it says Alfred. So this gives proof that Alfred burnt the cakes, and indeed in the first millennium AD existed and was a Saxon. And this thing, whatever the fuck it is, shows fleur-de-lis on the back, Phoenician coding on a Saxon gold, whatever it is, of a king that's supposed to have really existed. Check this one in Russia. So juicy, the images this week. Whew. Yeah, so that's got a lot of antiquitech going on. You see a lot of these everywhere, though. It's not just Russia. Omikusk has got one of these. Don't know what it is. Ugh. How would you pronounce that? Ikorostk. I don't know. But yeah, so it's only horse and carty outside. A load of buck-teeth farmers and fucking horse and carts, yet they got these big bleeding palaces with all the antiquitech. Look at that on there as well. And that on there. A little markup on that. Oh, that's different. I wonder what that is for. Well, energy grabbing. Here we move on. Still got 558 of you watching. Look at this thing out in the middle of nowhere, guys. Middle of a field, if you like. Wall around it. And this is a complex, an energy complex. Would have been definitely a... And it's for Angel's technology, again. A complex for producing and harnessing energy. These would have been like, you know, you get like... what's the equivalent in the modern days? Like Battersea Power Station, like that. Look at the stonework here, how big it is. Phoenician again. And this guy's just sitting there thinking, what's it all about anyway? Because it's most of us think, isn't it? What is this shit? What is all of this? That's what most of us think daily. So yeah, again, that's a Phoenician, but you can see the bottom half's undeveloped. You see this a lot with statues. They're the same as the ones I showed you earlier in Switzerland, I think. And they're holding up the building because they're jolly strong and they're Phoenician. So these hoofy roofies, these are people with hoofs, I guess, and there was a few hoofy people around with hoofy roofies. And in the heel bit, you can have a nice golden gun. Hoofy with the golden gun. Hoofy, you could have a Sufi hoofy, a hoofy with Sufis. There's another one of those fireplaces. I don't think you'd be able to put coal on there or anything. I don't think that'd work. Again, with the fleur-de-lis. Nice green. I like green marble. So yeah, I used to work with marble. Oh my God, it's such a bastard to use. So I was built in the Gilded Age, billionaire. Forced to work in Solus offices in 2020. Don't know what that means, but yeah, these are not normal fireplaces. Not for the elites. So then she goes from a boy to like obviously a Baphomet, because obviously there's 1,000 million images of her doing the old one eye or the old hold your finger on your lips thing. But she's pretending she's pregnant here, probably for an album cover or something. It's a very strange woman, isn't it? Oh, man. In fact, she's probably the only person I know who lives in Iceland. She's the only Icelandic, except for Magnus Magnusson, I even know. 2 Icelandic people I know. Do you know of any? No, not me. Did you ever watch Royston Vasey? It's a dark Homer comedy of years ago. Yeah. Did you ever watch it? We didn't burn him. Tubbs, I think. I think if you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube, some of them. It'd be worth watching. It is life-changing. You have to be in a certain mood, though, because it is very, very unnerving. And if you go to Royston Vasey, you'll never leave, because it will affect you in a weird way. Nobody's coming to save you. I'm sorry, it's true. The moment you accept that is the moment you start saving yourself. Wah! No! I gotta take responsibility for my own actions. No! I gotta own my own shit. No! So you can see the chicks hang around the men with the big guns. And you have to admit, these Americans got a really big gun going on. And that's why they flocked. It's like, come on, girls, let's go and put our bikinis on. Go and lay down by the soldiers with the big gun on the ship's deck. But I think these are actually, because they're at sea, female sailors. So you get a lot of women at sea as well. So that was my last post. You may want to catch up on that. It was a day or so ago concerning the dramatic shift in architectural styles. Just look at this thing. Wow, 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 wow. That's the noise it's making. Wow, 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 wow. So that looks like it should be in a Metropolis movie or in the beginning of Joe 90 or some sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. It's nuts. So this one I think is in, or was in Dresden. Again, top-heavy building. Again, absolutely splatteroonied in Phoenician statues. They're all up on the top where no one will ever see them. Unless you're in a balloon waltzing by or flying yourself because you've got anti-gravity underpants. This one. Okay. Well, that looks like a lot of aerials, and a lot of aerials, doesn't it? But to be fair, it's the 1930s, so it could be just a radio tower. But yeah, and it's in Italy, by the way. So yeah, look at a fucking hell. Look how red Michael Jackson's eyes are. Oh, that's him on all drugs and everything, didn't they? So Michael Jackson met Benny Hill. Benny Hill, who has an elastic band around his arm, or one of those things they give you when you just get out of hospital. And his watch is inside out. He switched his watch around, and he's got one of those bands that you have when you're in a hospital, and he switched that around. He's in a hospital right there. That's weird. I don't know what's going on there then. Bit of fucking skullduggery in that photograph. So what I want to know is, oh, look at Adolf. He looks so happy to see the girl. He's like, oh, you precious German, you precious soul, or whatever he's thinking anyway. What has he got under his arm? Is it one of those silicone tubes for doing masticing? Is it for doing a bit of silicone work? Or is it a microphone? It's a bit difficult. I don't know what it is. I think maybe someone else is holding it because Adolf's got two hands on this fluorines. So yeah, they loved him. They loved the old Führer. He was the boss, wasn't he? They're attracted towards bosses, aren't they? Women, so it's that. And he was the big boss as well. And he was a millionaire, so there's that attraction as well. Boss, millionaire, taking over the world. That's got to be a plus. So yeah, Phoenician sphinxes in graveyard cemetery sculptures. Very trippy, bit weird. Don't know what's going on. Cryptids, really. Maybe this place had these like literally existing. Imagine that running up to you, talking like in Latin or something. Just run up to you. Be trippy, wouldn't it? So this is a beautiful old building, a Tartarian building, and it is, or was. I did have the name of this one. I did write it down as well. Maybe it'll come back to me. It's in an American city, but it's the Munsters, isn't it? 1883, and that thing is fantastic, and it's Tartarian as fuck. In fact, I don't remember what city it is. I think it's New York City, actually. Oh, mud outside there. New trees, brand new trees just going in. Interesting. Oh, I wish I could remember whose house it was. So, yeah, maybe the Titanic or the Olympic, whatever, if it's an insurance scam, was just to kill the elites. Maybe the poor killed the elites. Now, there's one thing you never read in the newspaper and you will never read in the newspaper, is that the poor killed rich people. You're just not going to hear it. So what if there was some sort of boiler explosion? Because the ship smashed into two, isn't it? So, something blew it up. I don't think it was no iceberg. So I'm thinking that maybe that happened, that there was some sort of takeover, because the Astors were on there as well. And there was a lot of elites. There was a mummy on board. Could it be? These photos here are Trondheim in Norway, an occupation of the Germans. And it's a lovely Tartarian city. I don't think they ruined it or anything. There was a couple of battles went on there with the British. You can see they delivered them all in coaches, a bit like holidays for them. Look at them. Where'd you go on holiday? Trondheim. Is it nice? Yeah, it's nice. It gets very cold in winter. So there's Norwegians planning resistance. So when you blow all you fuckers up, you just wait. Then I know you aren't, because we're bringing in fuck tons of tanks. It's amazing the resources the Germans managed to get all the way up to Norway. How did they do that from Germany? Well, they would have had to go through Finland, and they would have had to go through Sweden. I'm very obliging of the Finns, because they were on the German side anyway, and the Swedes, who were neutral, because these would have all had to go from Sweden on railway to get to Norway. So Sweden had, in a weird way, some input into the invasion of Norway, didn't they? Well, that purgating kicked in, didn't it? That's one good thing about being in the German army, in the Reich, guys, is they give you shit hot drugs. You get these get purgating for one fucking thing. No, you won't have energy problems in the future if you had a big pot of purgating. And other nice things as well they had. It's like really lovely stuff. So this is Himmler, and he went to not Hitler, Himmler, and he went to Trondheim to visit Norwegians, wave and rub it in a bit. And then the Germans lost the war, they say, and you can see the Norwegian resistance taking back and fucking up all the German stuff, like German eagle, all over with. So yeah, so Trump's like, I want the Panama Canal. Do you realize how many Americans lost their lives? And so it was probably Panamanians that lost their lives. Can't imagine too many Americans traveling all the way down a stinking jungle. I think the thing was there already, is what I think. True love. Now, there's two beautiful animals, and they recognize it. An elephant, which is ultimately so beautiful, it's unbelievable, and a donkey. Yeah, donkeys' lives matter. Fuck everyone else. Okay, look at them. It's like, I love you. So I love you too. So we look so different. It doesn't matter. Love is real. Donkeys are just awesome, aren't they? I like their mini donkeys. Have you seen them? You can have them in your house, but they get a bit big. So yeah, this old bridge is over this old bit of geology, but I reckon that's a melted bridge from the old world, because it's still a bridge. Don't you? So I hope you've enjoyed these images today. Oh my God, this is an old sheepdog, and he looks like the sheep because he respects and loves them so much and looks after them and shepherds them and cares for them, that he's decided to look like one of them too. I love that dog. Okay, this is London Necropolis Railway to Brookwood. So let's look at these. No, that's an AI image. Fuck no. Somebody's posted an AI image. I just tell straight away that's not real. Fuckers. So hard to tiptoe around AI and not AI. At least I can recognize it. Yeah, this whole building, this is amazing. Is this brewery that is in was in Manchester, and look at that thing on there in the days of horse and carty. I don't know what it was. Miles Brewery back in the day. And Zeppelins aid in large battles in the Great War. Huge amounts of people raiding Starfort systems, because all of these battles, like Ypres and Verdun, they're all Starfort cities. They're all of them Starforts. Inside great expositions, I think there were Tartarian energy products exhibited, because a lot of them you just couldn't identify. You wouldn't know what any of this stuff was really, but it's definitely electrical in some way. A lot of it, craziness. Great expositions. Talked about this week. I got a video out this week which shows all about that. That's my images for this week. I think I did really well there. I'm quite happy with Flatter Day this week. So what I've been talking about, okay, they're going to probe new lands. There's a literal voyage of 9 people. Dave Murphy was just in chat earlier. He's going. And other people are going. I'm not going. But I wasn't asked anyway. But if I was, I wouldn't be, because I'm doing something else with my life. But wouldn't it be awesome if they discover new lands? Send a message back, and then everyone's like, as long as they haven't got like guards there with battleships and shit and all of that, and you can just waltz through to these new worlds there, no unhindered. That would be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, can't wait to see. That's something interesting happening in 2026 to watch. And I've been thinking that Greenland and the narrative for North Pole is highly suspect. And I definitely think there is some big mystery concerning the North Pole, wouldn't you say? It's highly dodgy. Have you been there? No, you haven't, have you? Do you know anyone? No. They just take you to a load of snow and a pole and say, this is the North Pole. Fucking 20 miles over that way, probably green fields. So there's that. So thank you, Millicent. I do appreciate that. Solve Mist. Good to see you, my friend. How long have we been talking? I don't know. 2 hours plus. So I've got 3 videos up this week you can catch up on. Got some more coming up this week. And doing a show in Oz, I think, Thursday. I might put up on this as well. Thank you, Kathy. I do appreciate that. Monica, good to see you. Nice one. Much love. And B. Williams. Something is rotten and smells funny. Well, if it is, I guess my spidey sense is tingling. I'm like, nah, something dodgy going on again. Usually is. Simo and our lovely India. Won't lose time. Time is an elephant. I mean, an elephant. Thank you, Jack and Sage, brother. And thank you, you lovely person. Oh, you'll have to start from the beginning. It doesn't matter. You can watch in increments. It's a good show anyway. I'll be great. Agree. Yeah, that's going to happen. You know that's going to happen. The Danes ain't using it anyway. And like he said, they just went there fucking 600 years ago and said, this is ours. It's like, how does that work? Well, same for the British, isn't it? We went and just take places and say it's ours anyway. We do the same. Taking over countries. What's that? Trump's going to make a bum rush Mount Meru. You better fucking not. I'm thinking he is, though. I'm thinking he's going to try and bum rush fucking Hyperborean, man. Take over or something. They got amazing weapons. He got no fucking chance. Getting all the army up there ready in Greenland, and the Russians as well. They're doing it simultaneously. Pretend there's wars happening elsewhere when they're buddying up together to take on the other force, because the others have arrived because the ice is thawed. What do you reckon? Ice Age ended 2020. That'd be more exciting. See, all of these countries like China and Russia, North Korea fighting one another. It's so fucking blasé and old world, isn't it? Shit, they've done all that before. They need a new enemy, like the Phoenicians coming back, or a race of pissed off giants would be really good. Or more in the line of something like Stormship Troopers, them fucking things. Yeah, that'd be good. Fight them. What do you think? No, we've just escaped, go to a new world. Okay. Good to see you, Legend Bro. Internal Visions, thank you. Must appreciate it. So thank you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like my content. I know it's different and trippy and not like the rest of YouTube, but I'm not really doing that. So good show. Thank you, Water and the Tree. Where? And Bob's in the house. Where? I think I turn in Japanese. I really think so. Solve Mist, Trump and Putin empire versus Agatha. That's what's going on. You know it. That's what's going on. You know it. I think it's something along those lines. And who knows? There could be a civilization below our feet. Agatha, all of that could be quite real. How would you even know that what's below us? We don't. I think there's water and then great areas of what could be inhabited. Beans on toast, good to see you. Thanks for being here. And Mo, good to see you, my bro. Putin is Gog versus Magog. Well, wasn't that the Bush's Masonic name in 322 when they were in that club? Which mine's just slipped. That was their handles, Gog and Magog, Old Bush and Young Bush. So I read in Yale. Crimson and Green and Gold. Thanks, Isabel, for the solids earlier. Thanks, 7-0 for being here as well, and all the gang. I'm going to be cutting out shortly. I'm going to do things. It's going to be good. Alex out of magic. Yay. The North Pole is an anvil cell. Oh, I like that. I like that. What do you think about all this southern business as well? What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Exciting, isn't it? Thanks, Rachel Osborne. Mini Ice Age 1600s. Well, the Monda minimum, they say, I don't think engravings of the Thames Frost Fair actually make that a reality. And the fact that weather records didn't even start till fucking 1850s. No records did. So we haven't really got any proper. The tree rings, dendrochronology is the only thing. If the tree is old enough, that can tell us about the Monda minimum. But I don't know. They say it was a little ice age. And I think it ended. And I think we're going into a warmer period for definite. So thanks for being here. World of Bliss. Lovely to see you. Scott Baker, good to see you, man. Wasn't Santa in the... Well, yeah, he was supposed to live in the North Pole, wasn't he? With all his pixies and elves building shit, making toys. We've all seen the films. Polar Express. That was a good one, wasn't it? Oh, no, Tom Hanks was in it. No, it wasn't. It was shit. Otto, love you. Thank you, Manage. Manny Truth Seeker, good to see you. I put the movie, if you haven't seen it, in the playlist for my channel, The Next Level. If you haven't seen that, it's a cracking movie and it will make you cry. There's a bit and there's very tearful and emotional, beautiful bit with David Weiss and this old lady who just realised at 100 years of age the earth was flat. It was just incredible. And the movie Old World Order that I was in last year, you can see in the description box. I can't put these videos up on my channel because I get clobbered. So there's that. Yeah, Next Level. Yeah, Next Level. It's in the description here. It is on my channel, but funnily enough, weirdly, if I go through my channel on here, it comes up on my device. But if I go through my channel on my computer, it's not on there. So it's like I got two different channels with two lots of different videos because New World Order is not on my laptop. I went through there last night twice. It's like, no, it's not on yet. It's only on my phone, Jay, which is weird, isn't it? It's really been fucked with. Thanks, Nut Job. Much love to you as well, Jay. So, yeah. Hope you all have an awesome week. Stay epic, guys. And realize that it's all an illusion. There's no point worrying about anything, really. I think the best way to navigate, my experience, the best way to navigate this realm is just be kind. Just be you. Fuck it all. Just be you. Be the love that you are. So in Poland, we have our own beliefs about the North Star, but the Big Dipper revolves around. All right, that's interesting. Dziękuję. We love Poland. I do. What are the tree? Crafty Kim. I'm a Libran. I love a Libran, man. She says, Crafty Kim. I'm a Libran. Thanks. 2nd of October. That's my next birthday, because you don't know. Denise, good to see you. Dusky, thanks for being here. Pig dog, yay. Kylie said to Jason, it's all in the mind. Listen, she was a great intellectual, and Jason Donovan, one of the greatest artists of the 21st century. Yeah. Be honourable. Yeah. Well, yeah, because ego's a destroyer, man. Fuck everything up for you as well. Be excellent to each other. Oh, okay. See, that's what I wanted to say. Be excellent to each other. Just be nice. Don't worry about the world affairs. It doesn't affect you. It's not about you either. The truth is, you should be excited. There's a new world coming. It's going to be good. It's not bad. It's good what's coming. People worry too much. That's what they do, though. That's how they get us in the kahoonies. Is they get us to envision this fucking horror world, and then the horror world turns up. Now we're in a like post-apocalyptic fucking shells of humanity. The cities are just fucking ridiculous compared to what they used to be. So everything's just gone shit. Because people have invested in what they tell them, and then they've manifested it. And that's what they do. They get you to manifest illnesses. They get you to manifest fucking reset. They get you to manifest the weather by spell casting, all of it. They just make us do it because we're the power. Our minds do it all, and they know it, and they fucking use it. So I wouldn't give them the energy. That's what I wouldn't do. What the fuck is playlist automatically opened? Oh, there you go, Officer Donut. Hey, Officer Donut, please give us a smile. Thank you. Scottage. North is just the negative polarity. It is so everything is attached around it. Probably. I like that, Scott. Probably. I'm still thinking about what Alex said. I'll have to contemplate and meditate on that a bit later. So, yeah. So, thanks so much. Yeah, I got to go. Maximus, good to see you. If I haven't given you a shout, Gary, my friend. Philippines should be safe. Wow. It's mind-boggling that they got such a low tide. You know, some of these archipelagos in the Pacific are literally just that far above the water level. So, when the sea just doesn't take them away. It's absolutely fascinating to me. Be kind to your mind. Yeah. Actually, the rest sorts itself out if you just stop fucking thinking. Thinking is bad, man. Don't think. Don't think. Thinking is bad. That's my advice. Thinking alone is like you start worrying then when you start thinking, what if? And what sets that up for you? Your psyche. It's a bastard. Set the fuck off. Watching in Georgia. Okay, Rosie in Georgia. It's a rainy night in Georgia, and guess what? I think it's going to rain all over the world. Probably not, though. No. Thanks for the wonderful adventure. Thank you, Stursky. That was been a good trip through fun. I mean, just coming up to 3-hour mark. My back is killing me. I got to get going. Wiggly flat thumbs. Wiggly flat thumbs. You doing it? Wiggly flat thumbs. 500 of you still watching. Like this video. Get 500 likes right now. Come on, come on. For all my effort. Endless hours of research. Bringing the love. Just hum your brain, no thoughts, no words. I sort of do that. Just stare at shit. Oh, Adman, good to see you, my friend. Much love. Hofferdommer. It's the only Dutch I know. Sorry, it's a swear word, but at least it's something. It's the thought that counts. Over Billy, much love, my brother. Earth is ground. This Earth here is Earther is positive. So yeah, let me know what you think in comments, and have a great weekend. I will be back very shortly. I'm a Flat Earth British, and keep an eye on my community page where I put all my information and what is going on in the community. Okay, there's always plenty going on around here. Thanks Hippie Shake for sharing the goodies, and thanks everybody who's donated. Jay, thank you. Max, if W team, thanks for cool video. Gonna watch it from the restart. Yeah, do that. 3 hours. I want to go to Huddersfield. Thank you, lovely memberships. Gifted Man League membership. Yay, Fongzi's here as well. Yay, Fongzi. What's going on, bro? Trump's masters, keep your stick on the ice, Marty. I don't know what that is. I will do it though. Sounds positive, so I'm going to do it. Owen, good to see you, my friend. It's a good Welsh name you got there. Wow, thanks so much for the membership. Oh, you give people memberships. Oh, fucking hell, thanks for doing that. So, yeah. Thanks, India. Thanks, everybody. Happy voyages. And let's see where this crazy load of things takes us in the world. The truth community. Yeah. Anyway, stay awesome, guys. I'll see you soon. Much love.